Sweet. It has been a intense couple of days. You had before you a couple of options. As you decided amongst yourselves that the powers of time are too great and the fallibility of immortals and mortals alike too risky to be left to contain said power. You set upon yourselves to find new bearers of the power of time, those that can be trusted to use it more altruistically. You considered the possibility of a dark ritual that was told to you by extension Ippitus, but in truth, his son Prometheus, who was freed from the mountaintop, to cannibalize Kronos, every hair, every piece of his being, and gain once more his power and his evil alike. You set about trying to claim the hourglass of time, and very much so you did. Um, Indeed, you did. Uh, but there was also another option was presented to you that Thalia was willing to went to Zeus and made a deal to become the vessel of the new lords of time, the new gods of time, to give birth to children, much like the Muses or much like the Graces. And as we came in today into Olympus, it seems that the decision has been made by Zeus that this will pass, this will come to pass, that Thalia will bear the children that will hold the power of time in their hands for Olympus and away from Kronos. And now he is to be slain, killed forevermore. It was a tricky time getting to there. Alicia finding herself having a conflict of conscience, understanding that Gaea did not sit well with the death of Kronos, who has been her gentle maternal guide for a very long time. Thalia also sparring, or should I say, verbally dueling with Hera, and managing to come out on top. Very impressive. And as all came to an end, Thalia found themselves wrapped in this inevitable embrace to produce indeed the next children of time. And that is where we pick up our session. So I'll check with Silenos and Alicia and Gyasi while this unity, shall we say, is being performed at the top of the mountain. Is there anything the three of you would wish?
So, Eric, Colin, you guys want to go first?
You
Yeah.
had some specific plans. I don't have anything specific.
I'd like to check up on those arrows I had being forged. Maybe I'll ask Artemis if I can have a hand getting to the Amazonians quick. Or I could just write my dough. I'm sure I can make it there, but...
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Hermes can just go pick them up for you if you like.
Cool.
Yeah. Indeed, he will. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I was thinking more about that situation. We had said that I grabbed like 20 teeth from a dragon. I don't know how you want to divide that, but if you want to make that into just like a few big shots or spread out, whatever you feel free. But yeah, I'd like to go check up on that.
Well, the more powerful an arrow, the longer it takes to make it. So I'll leave that. I'll actually. Well, you left it with the Amazons to create them, so it'll probably be something a little bit more common, but But you're gonna have many of them, which is the good thing.
Cool. Yeah, I'll take it. I just wanted to. I was thinking more about that. I wanted to leave it up to you.
Absolutely. So here is what we will say. What kind of arrows are you gonna get? I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna say through the powers of Hephaestus, you are going to be the proud owner of a couple arrows of slaying. So you may add those to your inventory. I'm gonna say, what are we gonna say? We're gonna say, 3 of them are. Well, these are all dragon teeth. And you don't do a lot of dragon fighting though. I'm just gonna say take 20 plus 1 arrows. Let's call
Okay.
it that. It'll
Yeah.
just make them
Easy.
into proper arrows. Yep.
Easy. No problem.
Sweet.
Better than nothing. Thank you.
Sweet. Okay. Let's see. Alicia, why don't you tell us what you're up to next?
Okay, I'm going to kind of stand outside, just look up at the night air. I presume it's night.
It would be the middle of the day, actually.
Oh, it's the middle of the day. Okay.
Yes.
And kind of like, yeah, just standing by myself as the other gods like all disperse. I
Mhm.
will t like just I'll just take a deep breath and just keep knocking my staff against my head a little bit, like just out of frustration.
Fair.
And I began walking to the Temple of the Fates,
Ah, Temple of the Fates.
walking with a lot of trepidation, but also if someone did a good insight check, they would see quite a bit of anxiety on my face.
Got it. I think it would be uh yeah, you go with a little anxiety inside of you. Um
About
hmm.
where I'm going and what may be about what may come.
So you, as you're walking, the path to the Fates is found by making your way across the Temple of Apollo. And you see in this little courtyard here, um, well, it's already up in the sky. I would say you see this like big, beautiful, like gold horse with a flaming, radiant mane across its back, and Apollo sort of standing next to it. And as you're making your progress up and across his temple to make your way to the Island of the Fates, he says, prophecy, an interesting thing you go to see.
Is it that obvious, Apollo?
Well, no, there's only two reasons people walk across my temple, and there isn't me who you're coming to see.
You guessed correctly. It's not. And I walk over to him to chat a little bit. I'm also going to just pet the horse if I can.
It singes your hand to draw close to it.
Ow.
Uh, it's as if, like, within maybe half a foot of range, it goes from a very normal heat to hot, scalding hot,
And I pull it back.
radiantly burning. These are the steeds who propel the chariot through the sky. You should be careful flying too close to it.
Clearly, I'm doesn't seem like he likes hugs much.
Well, that's the beauty of the sun. It is a great protector.
Does your friend have a name?
What is it that you go to seek, Alicia? You're not here to speak of my horses.
I'm here. I would like to see the Temple of the Fates. I've never been there myself.
You are seeking prophecy. There's only one type of person who seeks prophecy, and that is one who is uncertain of the path ahead.
Prophecy, some wisdom, perhaps.
We talk often enough with Athena about wisdom.
And she is indeed she lives up to her title. She is very wise. Perhaps cold at times, but very wise.
And what of you? Do you have wisdom?
I'm I Many say I have wisdom, but I also tend to think that the wise the wisest decisions should also seek. There are times when you should also seek out various opinions.
It's fair. Well, I wish you luck and caution.
And
The fates have a way of twisting what is to be, what is right.
any advice?
Yes. Life is one to be lived and not taken so seriously all the time. There must be time for music. There must be time for the art of medicine. There must be time to think on why the sun can never be touched and how it might feel. There is time for beauty. You must decide for yourself what exactly it is you're fighting.
I'm sorry, what is the last bit he said?
You must decide for yourself what it is you are fighting for, and if what you are doing serves them.
Thank you, Apollo. But before you go, one last question.
Yes.
Inside the temple with the fates, what they say is what they say. What of a prophecy, a shadow of what may be, or of what will be.
They spin all paths. I am the god of prophecy. I am the one who takes what the fates know and have and spin it into something comprehensible. The fates are not fortune tellers. The fates are not genies to trick with their words. They are none of these things. They are the entire knowledge of all things that could happen, and nothing they will ever say to you is if they tell you you have two paths, then you have two paths. There is always another fate, another road to walk. Your friend Kantara, I'm sure, can tell you this enough.
Perhaps she could. Yes.
Understand that what will happen has already been twined by them, already been woven. Lives will be cut. The paths have already been laid. You just need to decide which way you will walk.
I see. Thank you, Apollo. Give my best to your sister. And with a bow, I begin walking away.
And you see him saddle up on his horse, and after a couple of prancing steps, the horse takes off into the sky and sort of becomes more like light than an actual being and forges with the sun itself as Apollo returns to his chariot and continues his ride across the stars. And you make your way to that temple up above. The doors are already open. It seems they're expecting you. You walk within.
I walk within. Of course, the doors are open.
You walk in to a most mysterious place. Within, there are, as you look upward, where the light just preens in from the very top of the building, you see dozens and dozens of stories tall. Strewn about them is thousands and thousands of yarn, sort of twined together in different parts, parting in all different directions. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. The paths and fates of all people. You see beneath your feet piles and piles of yarn that has been cut. Coming down from this place, a little loud, I promise, you're going to see three women. One, a beautiful youth with porcelain skin, nude to be seen, gorgeous as the maiden. You see one who wears a shawl, middle-aged, childbearing hips, large bosom, the mother, one who has had children experience the joys of love and come to the middle age. And then you see the shriveled crone, hunched, coming forth with a long crooked nose. The fates are here.
Well, I bow before them. I thank you for allowing me into your temple.
They speak all in unison, like one being. God of mercy, God of forgiveness, God of nature. So many things you could have been. So many things you still can be. But perhaps not even a god will you be.
I've made my choices, and they've brought me here.
The mother says, as she begins to sort of like twine she's got two lines of yarn, she sort of twines them together and moves to another as she converges the path of two yarns of different colors. And she says, and yet there are still two paths ahead of you. One of Olympus and one of Gaea.
Are those the only paths left for me?
The beautiful young maiden walks up to you and she says, you've known this. You've known this all the time. The enemies, the druids and the gods always were. And though there is this armistice, there is a choice. There's always a choice. There's no true middle ground. No true compromise between these two things.
Do you see the choice see what choice I'll make?
Kronos says, it is not our choice to make, but it is merely the fates that we weave. It is you who will make the choice. But we can guess, for we have watched people walk and dance down their yarns for as long as time has been. And we know the ways people will walk better than most. And I see what lies at the end of yours. One, there is death. One, there is life. But all the same, if you walk down the path of life, so too will there be death. And if you walk down the path of death, there will be life grown anew.
What does this mean? Life grown anew? If I walk the path of death?
The woman says, you did not come here for this. You're a druid. You know what this means. They are entwined, life and death, and they are coming for you. The maiden says, you know the choice you have to make. If you stand with Gaea, you stand with all her children. And if you stand with all her children, you stand against Zeus. And the mother says, but if you stand with Olympus, then you stand against Kronos. And the plan they have brought forward means his end. And thus the anger of Gaea will be renewed. And when Gaea is angered, you know as well as anyone that death follows.
If Kronos dies, is Gaea is it inevitable that Gaea will run and will be angered and that there will be a war? Is there no way that this might be stopped?
The mother says, and that is the choice that you must make. Will you try and stop what is coming? Will you try and protect Gaea as you always have? Or will you truly give yourself over? to the rule of the God King.
What choice would I even have? How would I even make this choice if things have already been set in motion?
The maiden says, "That isn't for us. We weave the yarns. We tangle the threads together and bring people together and bring them apart and set them on their paths." The crone says, "And to end them. This is our place. And before you have been placed two fates, it is not for us to decide which one you will choose. It is for you to decide."
So if Kronos dies, it is inevitable that Gaia will learn of his death, and that there would be war.
The crone says, "The age of the earth is long, and its memory longer." Do you think the death of Kronos could be hidden from all mortal eyes? From all of Gaia's agents? Forever?
Is there no way that I might beg Gaia not to take revenge for Kronos' death?
The mother says, "You look too far ahead. That is a problem to come. And that is a fate to come. You have a very easy one before you. Gaia or Olympus? The Druids or Zeus?
Most,
Divinity or the Primordial?"
I was taught in the lens of Gaia that they were all the same at the end. And in the beginning. And even now.
The mother says, "For all of the hatred that the Queen of the Gods has earned herself, she is no fool. A mother will always be angered at the death of her child. This is no debate. This is the way of things."
So, was there any way to stop this choice? Was I just meant to come here and just be damned to just do this to be here, even though since the day I was born?
The mother smiles. She says, "Damned? Well, if it's damnation that you have given, that is your choice to make. But yes," the maiden says, "from the moment you were born, the moment we took up your yarn, and Pan had his way with that woman, we began to spin." And she hands one over to the mother, and she says, "And your path became such a beautiful one that would end in a golden thread of divinity. If you chose the paths correctly, of course." And the Cronin says, "And even that golden thread cannot be cut by my scissors. Only you can cut that."
So only I can cut my own thread.
The mother says, "You were destined for this choice long ago, Alicia of the Druids, born of the gods, and then born again of the gods. There is no further wisdom to be gained, no further answers to be asked of, nothing else to be learned. Other than this, you have a choice, and you must make it, and you must make it now. Your friends have made their choices. What will you choose? Will this golden thread end, or will it not?"
Is what happens after I make this choice? Is there still choices to come afterwards?
The crone crooks a long smile and says, "Depends on the choice you make now. It is hard to kill an immortal, but not impossible amongst their own kind." The mother says, "The path before you, Alicia, is one that can end in your ultimate destruction, just as it can end in the ultimate destruction of any of your friends, gods or not. Just as it will end with either the death of Kronos or the death of many more."
The death of Kronos, or the death of many more.
The crone says, "Don't think too hard about it. You know what Kronos represents, the devastation he has brought and will continue to bring."
I know.
The maiden says, "If you know, then go. You know that there is only two choices. You must make it. The death of Kronos, or an alliance with him.
What?
How else will you save him, if that is what you need to do?" The crone says, "Don't look so surprised, girl. You claim to be one of the wisest of druids. How would you intend to save Kronos, if not betraying Olympus? The king has made his command. Your own friend is having a baby put in her belly. Things have been put in motion which cannot be undone. If you are to make a choice, you must make the ultimate one, and you must make it soon." You just put the fates on mute.
Sorry, my brother's punching me.
I know, I just did.
One last question. Was I always meant to come here? Was I always meant to seemingly betray someone who had faith in me?
The mother looks at you. She says, "You were always meant to come to Olympus, to understand what you are. But betray someone, you have betrayed no one yet.
Yes.
But you will. You'll betray one, or you'll betray the other." "So who will it be?" Crone says, "Mighty Zeus, the god king who has accepted you to Olympus, given you titles, recognition in this world, who's formed an amistad with your people." The maiden says, "Or the druids, who raised you, nurtured your power, and connected you with the great mother of earth." The mother says, "Who will you betray?" "As one must be betrayed." You knew the moment you drank that ambrosia, you were turning your back on things.
I thought I'd save them.
And you did. And you did. Sometimes people don't know what's best for them. Sometimes people need to be led, shown the way, whether they like it or not.
Are they doomed? The druids, if this happens, and a guy declares war again?
The mother goes, "That's not why you're here. You are not here for all the knowledge of all the worlds. You are here to find out what you now know, what you must do. You came to understand the decision ahead of you, and now you do. There are fates of many, and not all of those fates belong to you.
Clotho Lachesis Atropos. Thank you for welcoming me into your temple. I suspect I'll be here. This will not be the last you've seen of me.
The crone raises her eyebrows and says, "Perhaps, perhaps."
And she will just begin walking out with make her way to the door, but before she fully walks out, she'll wipe away the tears in her eyes.
We're going to power around to Katara, who is with us. Wonderful, wonderful Katara.
Who's pregnant?
I'm going to tell you.
Oh boy.
Because things have changed since you've been away, my friend. I'm going to do the recap once more. So, a lot has happened in the past couple of days. The party learned of a great ritual to cannibalize Kronos. And from that cannibalization of him, would be able to gain the powers of time and the evil within him as well into themselves. And may be able to command time in a way that would be, Jesus, this is so, oh my God. This is too Feywild. Let's calm down. And from that power, we'll be able to command time and end the war. But another option came about by the power of diplomacy that the goddess of grace possesses. On the evening of the freeing of Prometheus, Thalia went before Zeus and made an offer. Much as there are the charities and the graces and the fates themselves, they all command power amongst themselves, embodiments of magic, embodiments of domains. And she offered to Zeus to be the vessel of such a new cabal of goddesses, to give birth to the goddesses of time through him. And Zeus acknowledged that this was possible, that time requires grace to work well, and that he would see that perhaps this might occur. And in the coming days, the gods were brought together to discuss the possibility of killing Kronos and a new group of goddesses to be born, manifestations of time itself. It was an interesting diplomatic time where various people made various moves behind the scenes, but ultimately, after a very impressive social challenge between Hera and Thalia, Zeus decreed that Kronos was to die, and from his death would be born a number of children that would possess his powers of time through Thalia. And so, with that, it has been accepted by the decree of Zeus that this is to happen, and Thalia and Zeus would begin to produce those children. You have all gained the hourglass of time, and through it should be able to use it to potentially scry on Kronos and learn of his final and true hiding place, his last stronghold, and with it, the key to saving Greece from this final Titanomach. That is where we stand. Is there anything that you would like to do, Katara? Because I will say this about the table. This will probably be our last chance to get anything done before the final battle. You hold the final key to tracking Kronos, so this is our final moments. This session.
I was reading a book. That's what I was told. I was doing something with a book.
You were doing something with a book?
Yeah. I was handed a book.
Yeah, we scarfed the most hidden secret from one of Kronos's chronomancers. He said, "My secrets are in this book," which immediately went to Katara, because it was her ghoul after all.
Yeah. So you now possess a book full of chronomantic secrets. I think in your nature, Katara, you're beginning to understand something about yourself. You are the foil to Athena in some ways. She is the goddess of knowledge, and you're the goddess of knowledge untold. She is the goddess of what is known by the people, and you're the goddess of what is kept. And it's up to you to decide if you shall keep this for yourself, if you should hoard this secret, or pass it along. There is power in secrets, after all.
Can I use it in any way?
You'll have to take some time to study it. There may be rituals in here you can add to your book, but this is largely a wizard's tome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she would have tried to see if there was any way for her to take advantage of the knowledge. I think she would also, the only other thing that she would have done is she had given stuff to Hephaestus and Athena sort of together before everything left, including the blood of a time dragon and a staff, all in the hopes that it would reveal something that they could potentially use against Kronos. So I think that's the only thing that would really be on her mind of heading into the battle. Can she learn it, or has it already been learned?
If you want to go visit Hephaestus, he may have a progress update for you.
Start walking that way.
You're like, God, this mountain's fucking big. And you go for a little saunter to the other side. And indeed, you will find yourself in Hephaestus' forge, wherever the spirits of dwarves continue to aid him in the creation of things, along with his Cyclops companions. And you find the great forge god of fire and craft, Hephaestus, before you. He says, "Oh, hi, how's it going? Hi, Katara, how are you? How's it going? What do you think about the big proclamation killing Kronos? What do you think about that?"
I mean, he's become quite annoying, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay. That's just curious, I guess. Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah. Well, what can I do? What can I do for you? Yeah, you seem like you need something. Well, coming over to you.
Remember, I gave you some items before.
Yes.
Before I left.
Yes, and I got yes. Okay. And he will sort of run around his forge, and he's going to look around. He's going to go, okay. So we took the blood, and we took the staff, and we looked through it, and we began to understand it to a degree. But obviously, we don't have the power of time between me and Athena, so we couldn't use it to create chronomantic powers. But she is the goddess of tactics and warcraft, and I am the forge god. So I was able to create I was able to create some ammunition that should have anti-chronomantic properties. It should work like a, how do I put it? Like a dispel magic or counterspell, but for chronomancy specifically. And he is going to look around, and he ends up producing what is essentially, it's gonna be that. He produces a quiver, this beautiful quiver, and he is going to. It's going to be filled with some arrows. I'm sorry, I admit I'm half trying to remember what this item was going to be. He hands you a quiver. He hands you this beautiful quiver, and you see that there's designs along the side of it that kind of roil around themselves, kind of like the sea or sand moving in different directions a little bit. And it's a beautiful ornate quiver. And he hands it to you. This is okay. Whenever you put an arrow or a piece of ammunition or a weapon of any kind into this quiver, it will be coated with essentially, I haven't thought of names for everything yet, but though that item for one strike will be able to cancel any time anomalies. So, for example, if Kronos were to open a portal forward or backward in time, you could close it with a weapon coated from the power of this quiver. I admit I haven't field tested it yet. It's hard to find subjects to field test because there's not a lot of chronomantic magic out there by the nature. We don't want to do that. Anyway, but it hasn't been tested yet. You're gonna have to play with how it works. But essentially, if something that is soaked for all intents and purposes in the quiver, its next strike should be able to seal time anomalies.
Is there a limit to how many weapons you can imbue with this power?
No, they just have to have been in the quiver, and then pulled out to do it essentially. Yes, but you can only. There are some limits, like you can only have arrows in it at one time, or you can only have, you can't just like stick 100 weapons inside and pull them all out, and stick 100 more and just bake it all. And the enchantment only lasts for like a minute too, so it's there are limits to it, but yeah, it can keep going and going and going.
So it lasts for a minute. Is it? So, if I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
If we say placed, does the whole weapon have to be inside of it? Or if we had, say, like a dagger or sword and we had part of it dipped in, how long does it need to stay there before it's imbued with the magic?
An action. Like you could do like a dip kind of thing like that.
My brain is really just like, if we could like fit plan, like everyone go out very beginning.
Yeah, I admit I do need to make an official construction of this, but there will be things put in play to definitely work against basically abusing it. It's just be like da 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 da. So I have to build it a little bit, and so my description is basically going to be like, best is like, I don't know entirely how it works. I know that it does. You're gonna have to field test it.
So with that in mind, then I will take this quiver and kind of go back to the book. And I think she'll see if there's some type of ritual that she could learn that has a chronomantic vibe to it, and then see if she could basically cast it and simultaneously then dispel it. And she'll spend a lot of time like in her temple trying to figure that out.
Fair enough. Well, there are some spells that are just common chronomantic spells, like slow and haste are both considered chronomantic in nature. They're a little less powerful and thus a little less harmful, so they're kind of, but as far as rituals go, let me take a little peek here and see if there's any chronomantic rituals in this book.
I suppose I could test it with the staff as well if I had to. So.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. I don't think there's any like pre-made rituals that have a large chronomancy component, unfortunately. But I will say, go ahead and make me an Arcana check, and we'll see if you can produce like a small amount of chronomantic magic for the sake of a tester.
Arcana. 23.
23. You're able to essentially produce like a slow spell for all intents and purposes, and through a scroll, probably through a scroll, you're managed to produce it onto a number of like test subjects of your choice.
I have a zombie.
By the way, you also you do have your chronomancy zombie who is with you, by the way.
I have a new one?
You in the battle you did Finger of Death, and Rose, one of the chronomancy wizards, is your personal zombie.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So maybe we'll say that wizard produces like a little it seems to have a little bit of magic left in what's left of the brain in there. And you're able to like take a dagger and like leave it inside and then pull it out and then whip it at the hasted or slowed thing, and it cancels the spell immediately.
Such a better minion than that freaking whatever king that I took.
Yeah, the king, that's right.
So knowing that it then, like she's tested it works, she'll probably bring the item to Silenos.
Mhm.
And
Well, looks like you get the material I gave Hephaestus was, he was able to craft something that I think would be useful. And she'll kind of fold the quiver out and she'll say, it works similar to my dispel magic, but for chronomancy specific magic. And you just need to put arrows in there in order for it to be imbued with the power. More or less.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I'm sure I can help you guys out with this.
But, yeah, it's a non-attunement item. Like I said, I'm gonna construct it in the downtime. I need to finish it. Sorry about that. But it will, yeah, it'll be ready for you for next session. Excellent. It did require the use of the blood and the destruction of the staff to create, but it can cancel time effects, which is pretty cool.
Cool. I'll officially remove that.
I just have it with Hephaestus.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's all I had it as. Just so I remembered that I gave him something.
Absolutely.
And then, so, side question. How much downtime have we had here?
Not a lot. You guys have been moving pretty quickly the last couple of days. If you wanted to, I mean, if the group wanted to, of course. But I'm sure, I don't know. That'll be up to you guys.
I just had 2 spells I was in the process of copying.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You might have time to do so. We'll see how much time remains afterward. Okay, so we've hit Katara, we've hit Alicia. What about Silenos and Gyasi? Do you two have stuff you want to do? Olympus abroad, anywhere else?
No, I put all of my wheels in motion last go. Sending arrows on his to-do.
Excellent. God, it's just reminding myself that over here. Your little plan with arrows. What about you, Silenos? Do you have stuff you want to do?
I don't think so. I think Silenos, upon getting those arrows, he'd probably take his new arrows and put them into the quiver and like just start practicing with them around Olympus. Not like fully using them, but and then I think towards the night, he might just try and say a prayer out to those fighting or affected by the war so far. And yeah.
And I gotta play. Oh, yes. Yeah, you do so. You practice and you shoot and you listen to those prayers and you just kind of prepare yourself. Absolutely. What about yourself, Gyasi? I saw a hand here.
Actually, because I did have a thought. When we left Gaea, we were given the ability to do a beast calling one time.
That's right. That's right.
I would like to do that.
Okay, very cool.
But I need to bend it just a smidge.
All right.
I only want 2 animals. 2 cats.
2 cats.
Thalia has 2 people in her family, her father and her remaining sister. That's my recollection.
Yeah.
I'm hoping by decreasing the number and adding some of my official godlike mojo.
Yeah.
I want to attach them as familiars, 1 to each.
Okay.
That way I can have eyes to watch them.
I think that is awesome and very godly of you. We find ourselves sort of in the streets of Constantinople, where Gyasi, in mortal form, you wander the streets and you happen to see one at a time. You see, standing in front of the building, the father of Thalia, this getting to be a little bit of a heavier set gentleman, who with balding for sure. He's looks every bit a senator. Looks the part in every sense of the way, but seems to have the respect of people around here. And from that back alley, Gyasi, you kind of put your hand out, and a cat will kind of like walk down your arm and out and kind of look back at you, and maybe you gesture, and it sort of prances across the ground, and will kind of keep its distance a little bit away, but will follow the father around and make contact when the time is right, and just kind of pester him. And similarly enough, you walk down another street in Constantinople and look through, sort of like, or she's more of an Athenian girl. You actually kind of like walk around the palace and you look up to a window where you see Thalia's living sister. Which one was it, Thalia? I'm sorry.
You murdered Ivania.
I murdered Ivania. Which one is that? Olympia. That's right. Sorry.
My
So
baby
cold,
sister.
no emotion.
You look up to a window where you see Alicia sort of like sitting on her arms rested on the windowsill, kind of looking out with this kind of like dreamy look in her eyes, just kind of like looking out over the city, lost in thought about something, maybe someone. And you sort of spin your finger around, produce a little godly magic, and a cat sort of prances down from the roof onto her seal. And she goes, "My goodness," we like can't hear what she's saying, but she's and the cat kind of like looks up at her and waves its little tail around cutely, and she kind of, you see the look in her eyes. She's got her own cat friend, and she sort of like looks around, like picks up the cat and takes the cat inside, and the window closes. And yes, you are the god of cats. I would say you're probably going to end up being the god of cats. Let's be honest with ourselves. And yes, indeed, these agents of yours are very well connected to you. We'll keep an eye on.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Promise kept.
Sweet.
That's all I can do.
Love it. Love it. And with that, we will return to Thalia. Thalia, where should we pick up with you?
Rolling to see if I get advantage against Zeus.
Oh, right.
That might come in handy.
You're right. Very smart of you. Okay. Roll me a con saving throw.
17.
Okay, I gotta pull up Zeus's stat block here. Zeus is a pretty hardy constitution about him all one. He rolls a 29. You are in physical contact. You have advantage.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a performance check.
Oh, I got a 25.
25, not quite enough. Do you want to use one of your many bolstering abilities?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
If it's a failure, I'll use a certain point.
Okay. It is. Go ahead.
Reroll performance. Oh man, I got a 27. I guess I failed.
27. Is that it? That's all you got?
Yeah.
Throw luck on it.
Can I throw a luck on it? Sure. I've got enough.
One more roll. It's your last chance.
You emboldening bond
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Oh my god, I got a 28. That's all.
A 28. That's so close.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. I mean, it doesn't work this way with PCs, but he has advantage on you because he rolled 29 on his athletics check. Thalia, it is not often that you find a lover who overwhelms you. But in Zeus, you are overtaken, despite being the goddess of, or born of the goddess of love and sex. Zeus is not easily mastered, and it is a very good time. You have a very enjoyable time. And would you like to be walking out of the throne room, or should we pick up in the aftermath of that encounter? What would you like?
I've got a couple things I'd like to do, so maybe leaving the throne room.
Okay. You and Zeus complete the act, and you pillow talk, and yeah, you leave the throne room.
See you later.
See you later, baby. He will assure you and remind you that he'll say the most important thing that he will say is that the birthing will happen the death of Kronos in the coming days. And that is what he will remind you. As you leave the throne room, where is Thalia going?
I'll go to my house, and I'd like to use the skull to call our dragon allies.
Oh, all right. As you walk down the steps, you make your way past the temple of Hera's home, where you do see her sort of standing almost exactly like this. Her long flowing purple and white robes sort of like in the wind, sort of roiling. She seems stoic, but it's almost as if the wind and her own, the massive flowing of the robes almost betrays a turmoil deeper within. And as her eyes land on you, she turns away and leaves. But that eye contact, it's less about Hera and the Queen. You can't help but feel a sense of knowledge that you are indeed pregnant, as she is the goddess of childbirth.
Oh boy. Yeah, and I think a hand will go to Thalia's belly. Kind of like, maybe it kind of hits her in this moment, like, I'm gonna be a mother. And it's a different type of motherhood, I expect, but it's still motherhood and something she had not envisioned for herself. So yeah, I think it kind of all like hits her in that moment.
You can't help but, and alongside that, there is something in that sensation, that sort of flutter in your stomach of like, oh, I'm gonna be a mother. It's the same sort of anxious flutter that you felt when Hera was approaching you in the gardens before your jousting, shall we say. And like it or not, you will never be as connected with Hera as you are in this moment. As you will be over the next couple days.
She'll save her prayers though, and
Of course,
continue to her home. Yeah.
Fair enough. And indeed, you make it to your home. And as you step into your home, which is now empty, there's no Valerie there waiting for you.
I've got a Valerie Simmel. I'm still there.
Oh, you got Zimmel. You got yes, you do have your illusory copy. That's kind of sad, a little bit actually, but that's okay. At least I have you, my illusional construct that must follow my plans. But you produce the dragon skull. What do you say?
The time has come. The Demithots require your presence. The final battle will be amongst us soon.
And the skull animates and speaks. Its mouth opens and closes with the words and says, "And the dragons will ride with you."
Cool.
And then the dragon skull just sort of almost like disintegrates into sand in your hand and kind of falls through your fingers to the ground. And you know that their final offer has been struck, and they have been notified, and we'll see what the word of a dragon is worth in the coming days.
Yeah, well, I hope they know where to go. They should have left that sending stone alive a little bit longer.
They will know. They will know.
They'll know. I guess we can send to them still, but
they're dragons. They got tabs on things. They're pretty powerful beings in their own way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Could I do one more thing that shouldn't take long? If you let me do it. First of all, I'm going to apologize to Valerie Simulacrum. Because I'm going to try to make another one. But, okay, in the wish spell, it says... it says you can duplicate another spell. You don't need to meet any requirements in that spell. The words are any requirements in that spell. And the spell simply takes effect, right? So so that means I could I don't have to have the body of the person that I want to make a simulacrum out of. Right? So I could just make
let me go put my eyes on it real quick.
Because I think I want one of those cool time chronomancers. They were kind of powerful, and I think I want one. Or I want a Kyros.
Thalia is building her own entourage, one wish at a time.
Does say that. Okay. What would you like? What would Thalia like? As illusory Valerie definitely protests her death in her eyes. But as you cast Wish, what simulacrum would you like to bring forth?
I wish to... Oh man, sorry, I'm just trying to decide if I want Kyros or if I want a time chronomancer.
You want Kyros. Let's be honest.
Okay, I was leaning towards Kyros. Okay.
You know you want Kyros back.
I could surprise Ouroboros with Kyros. Oh. And I'm not going to tell him it's a simulacrum either. I'm not going to tell anyone this Kyros is a simulacrum, to be clear.
Got it. Do you command your simulacrum to never divulge that he is actually a simulacrum?
Ooh, yeah, and I'll do that too. I wish for Kyros simulacrum, please.
I wonder, does the spell work if you don't pronounce it properly?
Probably not.
Yeah, I want to Kyros.
It's a difficult word.
Clato,
it's like blue powder.
Necktie.
Yeah.
Necto. Definitely an N-word.
But yes, it will work. You will summon forth the warrior Kyros. I don't believe that they're born with any weapons or anything of the like, though, for simulacrum. So, in a very Arnold Schwarzenegger and Terminator style, emerging a block of ice on the ground that carves itself into the form of the great fallen warrior and son of Hercules, Kyros, just sort of forms in that sort of kneeled warrior position, low, and kind of rises up and rolls his shoulders back and looks at his hands, and Kyros is now back as an illusion.
Kyros, my man, good to see you.
He covers himself up and goes, "It's good to see you, Thalia." Kind of turns around a little bit and goes, "It's what is happening right now?"
So,
I'm alive. I'm alive.
So is he already not aware that he's a simulacrum then?
I'm gonna say that it's a good question. It's an incredibly good question.
Is he self-aware?
What does the simulacrum know of their own existence? What would you wish for the simulacrum to know?
I want the simulacrum to think that they are Kyros.
Okay.
And they're not
believes
aware
he's
that they're...
Kyros.
Okay, cool. And they're not aware they're a simulacrum.
Got it. He is unaware, and he kind of is just like, I'm back. I'm alive. And I'm naked. Why am I naked?
Well, you're in my house, that's why. And she'll wink at him.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's get you
Are
some...
you sure? Oh. Good. Now we're... mixed messages. Right, I remember this. The mixed messages.
And I think we should get you outfitted with some armor and some weapons too.
That would be nice. I prefer the war spear. That's possible.
Maybe.
And the shield.
Well, Hephaestus doesn't like me very much, but maybe we'll go find Ouroboros and you two could go see Hephaestus and see if he has anything for you.
I could always go make inquiries. Yes, I could go find Ouroboros or talk to Hephaestus or Hercules might have something for me.
Oh yeah, or even Hercules. Sure. I think Ouroboros would be very happy to see you, but he's indisposed at the moment.
Yes, he's right. Well, I'm gonna he does like put the little thing on. Just like it's like basically just like a basic tie around the waist, like down to his ankles. That's all right. Well, I'm going to go wander around Olympus and see if I can't get myself something to fight with.
Nice.
Thank you for bringing me back to life, by the way.
Oh, you're very welcome, of course. Would Kyros actually like to come back to life? Or sorry, I don't say it like that. You're pleased with being... Sorry, I say it a different way. You're pleased with being back to life? Because I do have that power, you know, to bring people back to life.
Am I not... what? If I'm not... I feel... Am I not alive?
You are alive.
Well, I don't... Here's the thing. This is where it's tricky because we don't, because this is a simulacrum. I'm going to say, would you wish Kyros, here's the problem. You don't have Kyros's memories, right?
No.
You just don't. So I'm going to say that he just like pretty much, oh man, this is tricky. Tell you what would you wish Kyros to know? To remember?
Everything Kyros knows and remembers, including being dead.
So I will say, because you are taking memories that you don't have and putting them into the simulacrum, it's fine. I'll let it happen because you're a super cool god. It's fine. We don't need to extend or bend the spell. You just create like a perfect simulacrum duplicate with the 9th level of magic. Okay. I gotta keep thinking about it. Well, sorry. Well, I'll fight. Fight, of course. I'll stand. You brought me back to life. I'll fight, and one day I'll get to go back.
You're definitely probably gonna fight. By the way, I think we've got the big showdown with Kronos coming up in a few days. So get ready for that. Yeah.
All right. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I mean, I'm never being on the same level as all of you, and I'm certainly not a god, but I will do my very best.
Yeah. I'm sure you will, and you'll be a great help no matter what. It's really good having you back, friend.
It's good to be back.
Excellent. Well, I'll see you later.
Oh, okay. I'll just go.
Yeah, collect
nice place.
our powerful items you can, because as you said, you're not a god, and we need you to fight. So
I'll see what influence I have on this mountain. I'll do my best to try and see if I can't make things happen.
perfect.
And he'll wander off and go and try and get himself equipped with proper gear.
Sweet.
I'm sure it'll go well.
Yeah. All right, that's all I had.
Cool. Yeah, if anyone else has anything, this is the time to be greedy. This is the time to be greedy. Yes, Katara.
Okay. So I forgot to do this, but one of the things that I was going to do, I don't know if I need to leave Olympus for this.
Okay.
But she wanted to check in on her children and sort of see how they're doing. Just stay alive.
You probably will have to leave because it's your forest is your people are sort of hidden away in the deep forests, which cannot be seen from the sky. So you'll have to travel, which is fine. Just jump up the side of the mountain, you'll get there. And indeed, you can go check on them. Where would you like to go first?
Let's go. Is it Samothrace?
Yeah, you got them in Samothrace and Themyscira.
Yeah, let's do Samothrace first. I think she'll disguise herself so that she doesn't,
Fair enough. Disguise yourself in mortal form. You're probably as mortal as you've ever looked in this moment, as you just kind of make your crown go away and your dark robes change to like normal commoner robes, and you just look real bland and normal.
I mean, the last time I showed up with wings and a tail, so yep.
There you go. You make your way around, and the people of Samothrace, as ever, seem to be suspicious of the witches in the woods and on the hills of Samothrace. And if you wander within and try and make a little look around, you're going to see Sybil, your most spookiest of, shall we say, matrons, who seems to be doing well, keeping things intact. Things seem to be peaceful enough. They're training them well. Everyone here seems to be a proficient member of the cult of Hecate. And I believe you've spread your own influence into the cult of Hecate, if I'm not mistaken, yeah?
I believe so. I didn't want to upset Hecate, but yes, I think that was the intention.
Fair enough. That temple on the hill that you were so accustomed to, there's a new statue built inside, alongside of, the select gods that the people of this island like to worship amongst the pantheon. You are one of them now, as Katara, the goddess of secrets, has a statue in this very temple.
And then I think what she would like to do is for the three of her children that are like the main acolytes, I think she would try to see if she can bestow a bit of power. She's seen Gyasi with his mom, so she knows that it's possible. So I think she wants to see if she can extend some of her will and sort of let them know that she's proud of them by giving them powers.
Fantastic. You make me... Ooh, what check will it be? It's going to be charisma, because that's where your magic comes from. Make me a religion-based charisma check. Technically, you're like kind of doing like an inverse of a religion check, kind of. It's kind of interesting. I'm not trying to learn about the gods. I'm trying to like.
So it would be.
Learned. So are you proficient in religion?
Yes.
Is there a charisma skill you're proficient?
Persuasion and intimidation and deception.
Okay, just make. Oh, fantastic! Just go ahead and make me a check out of one of those three, and it'll be the same modifier.
Perfect.
first. Okay, so 18. I rolled really well, actually.
18. You do go to them. You go to Sybil, and eventually you will find your way to see Cain and Medea. And you relay to them your pride and your acknowledgement that they have important parts to play. And you bestow upon them clerical powers. And not as intensely as Gyasi did. Gyasi's relationship with his mother was something awe-inspiring, especially in the heat of the moment. But you know that they have important parts to play in your will, within your will, and they gain the necessary power to enact that will. So they're a little powerful now. They got some clerical powers. What domain do you think they are, Katara?
Oh. God, what does secrets do?
I think grave and death are possible.
Yeah, I think. I mean, death's probably like, she's got a lot of necromancy powers that she kind of did a bit.
Arcane knowledge.
Okay. Well, okay. Can I mix? Or no, that doesn't make sense.
Sure.
I feel like Medea would 100%. She should have like the death side because vampire. Come on.
Yeah.
And then we had.
There's a shadow domain. There's a new shadow domain. But you're not really like a light person. So you're dark, but you're not that dark.
Cleric
you know?
domains. God. Okay.
There's some really like out there domains lately. Inquisition domain. What the fuck? Trickery, I think could be a Katara thing. Trickery. So I think trickery. I think knowledge, grave, death, arcana. These are all good domains.
Yeah, I think maybe Sybil arcana, and then. Oh, baby Cain.
There could be a war god. I mean,
yeah.
You were born in war.
Yeah, maybe that would be for Cain. He's basically, yeah. I was unprepared for that choice.
Yeah, that's okay. No problem. You bestow your various disciples, the first 3 clerics. There are priests, but priests and clerics are 2 different things. And you bestow these 3 with separate but still necessary power to enact your will in the mortal world. You are no longer amongst your cult any longer. It'll be to them to find the lost children in the woods and raise them up strong as you've always done.
She'll give them hugs before she goes.
Oh, hugs. You give them hugs. Big hug from Cain, little hug from Medea. And yeah. And they will worship. They will continue to worship you. You get the sense that much like Persephone and Demeter are intertwined, so too does it seem that Katara and Hecate are intertwined similarly in the cult.
Yeah, and then I think she'll kind of after that she'll return. She knows everything's, well taken care of, and she'll return back to the mountain, sort of preparing for the end battle. My only other side thing, not RP related, is there like a sidekick stat block for the zombie thing that I got?
Yeah, I think I like the idea of your Skelly having a little extra pump. So I'll make you. I'll also make you a Chronomancer Skelly. He's not going to be as powerful as the Archmage because his brains are a little jujued, but he'll have some power.
Cool.
trying to figure out if I bring him or not. Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Okay. Ouroboros, you are with us.
Indeed.
Indeed. My friend, is there anything that you would like to get up to? This is sort of our final session before the big bad battle. Is there anything you'd like to do on this mountaintop?
I think, if able, about how much time do we have before we go out?
Well, you guys don't know where Kronos is yet. You have the key to finding out. We don't know where he is yet. So we're kind of taking it day by day. This is still the day of the council where they decided that Kronos will die.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think if able, I want to go to the little lookout that Zeus showed us before, where he can kind of look down on all of Greece.
Got it. Yeah. Yep, after Thalia and Zeus have vacated the throne room, you find your way there and find your way back out to the garden and stand and look out over the Greek world.
Okay. Could I look over the giants?
Yeah, you turn your vision to the Asian Minor, Northern Asian Minor, to where the giants are. You see that they're there. They are. It's not as populated as it used to be. It seems to some extent the giants are scattering a little bit. You'd have to guess. But this does still seem to be the capital of giant kind. Floating moats still remain. The power of storms and clouds still rule over the people, the giant kind.
Okay. Is it possible that I can zoom in a little closer to see my mother?
That's a little trickier. You look around, all around, you zoom in to look and find her, but you can't find her out and about. This place doesn't allow you X-ray vision, so to speak. So I will say that you do, at one point, see your mother standing on the balcony, looking out over giant kind.
Okay. How does she look?
She looks pensive, like she's thinking about a problem that needs solving. She's not as like endowed in like battle regalia as she once was. Still noble and fine in design, but looks out over the people of giant kind and contemplates. You'll see joining her on the balcony is a younger giant, but still a man. And he looks like her a little bit. He has the same sort of cloudy gray skin and the glowing white hair and the electric eyes that is synonymous with Zeus's power. And he kind of takes her from behind and kind of like puts his arms around her and like rests his head on her shoulder. He doesn't move very much or acknowledge him. He continues to sort of contemplate. And they speak. You don't know what about from this distance.
Okay. I avert my gaze to my brother.
You look down to the little fishing village of Keristos, and you see larger than you saw him last time. Hit another spurt, maybe half a foot taller than last you saw him, and getting
One of many.
Yep, one of many growth spurts on the way. That's right. You do see him sort of wandering around the village, and he seems to be treated well enough by the other village children. He's like playing a ball game of some kind of kickball game with them. He is obviously not doing too bad. They seem to have made him like the goalie position, as he's a rather broad, tall child that covers the net pretty well. And he seems happy enough. He seems content, enjoying the game.
Just like I would have done had I not been in slavery.
Since I had not been enslaved,
I could have went D1, man. I could have went pro. Okay. With a smile on his face, I feel like Ouroboros would want to call on the winds of Boreas and go to the capital of giant kind.
Before you go,
as
you're considering looking out, you hear behind you, "You're looking lonely, brother," standing there. And you turn around to see not only clothed in this like white, linen sheet that is covering his lower body down to his ankles. You see the strong and living form of Kyros.
Is this a trick?
Maybe. I don't think so. Thalia. Thalia. She did something, and now I'm here. I'm back, as far as I can tell.
I am overjoyed to see you, brother. But as many times as you and I have reunited and separated, I hope you can understand my my holding back.
Oh. Yeah, no, I understand. That's fair. I don't really get it myself. I never understood her and Farah and all of their magics.
To say the least, though, I am very happy to see you, brother.
And I see you too.
Before the world or the fates, whoever is controlling the ball nowadays, let's start off with a hug. Come here.
All right, I'm a little small for that now. You're fucking okay. And you come over and maybe shrink down to be a more manageable size.
Manageable. Yeah,
manageable size. And yeah, you'll give you a hug. Gives you a hug. He feels cold, the touch. Frankly, doesn't feel like warm. It's cold, but real skin.
How do you feel?
I feel alive, I guess. It's It's a fine feeling, I suppose. I hope it's not weird to say that Elysium was a good place. I look forward to going back. But the gods, Thalia, no god, I can say that, have returned me to this world for a great purpose, and so I will serve it.
Well, the fields of Elysium have lost one of their most qualified members.
Qualified. Well, I'm sure I'll be back there one of these days.
Yeah.
And it sounds like probably pretty soon, considering what your guys are going up against.
Yeah. Maybe we're getting to the end of this.
Maybe. Well,
and
I gotta find some armor and weapons and shit, because I'm not you, and it's just gonna be a big one. So I'm gonna...
Yeah.
I just had to stop by and say hi.
Thank you for doing so. I'm glad
Unless you want to give me those gauntlets. You want to give me those gauntlets, huh? Give me something proper to fight with? You're a god now, you don't need gauntlets, huh?
Sure you can handle these.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. You like to play with your fists more. I was always with the sharp sticks.
Yeah. Remember I used to play with my food too. So it kind of graduated that way. Yeah, I used to make little forts out of the lamb sticks, you know?
Yeah, I get that became fighting with your fists, that grew into that?
Yeah, like, you know, me playing with the food, you know, it turned into me playing with my enemies. You know what I'm saying? So now instead of building little forts out of mashed potatoes and lamb chops, now it's broken spines and pain. Yeah.
That's kind of concerning, Ouroboros.
A little bit. I mean, if it
while
was
you were
against the wrong people,
you're like playing with the bones and everything. You were like thinking about bodies when you were like a kid, like beating people up.
No. I just thought making a fort out of lamb chops looked cool, you know, and it was cool.
People up, and you're like, "Oh, this reminds me of lamb chops." And
yeah, a little bit, especially when you like, you know, break a guy in half, and then like his spine giblets just kind of shrapnel.
Gross.
Oh yeah, I've seen some pretty terrible shit, man.
Well, I hear you're the god of pain, so
yeah.
God of pain? Really?
I don't know, man. What I can tell you is I feel everybody's pain, like all kinds of pain, like menstrual cramps.
What the fuck? What's a menstrual cramp?
I don't know. Apparently, it's something that females have. Thalia was telling me about it.
Oh, no. Okay, no, we don't need to go there. I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can kill people in battle and open them up, but that is too much.
Yeah. I get kind of wheezy, sometimes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go find me a really sharp stick and something solid to strap across me to keep me alive.
Yep. A tale as old as time.
I was gonna say, if at some point while Kyros is walking around and he happens to find Silenos, if Silenos sees him, he might have a pretty big gift for your boy.
Yeah, we'll say he goes wandering around. He's visiting all the different people who might have cool shit for him. And at one point he finds Silenos flipping through the air, training, shooting a tree, shooting a branch, just being generally incredible. And you see Kyros wandering around Silenos, and he's like watching you. He's like, "Whoa, pretty impressive still, huh?"
Buddy, hey, and he runs up, gives him a hug.
Oh,
It's great to see you. You look mighty as ever.
oh, thank you. I, I don't feel it. I don't have any clothes, but I'm working on that.
Well, I think I can help with that. And he'll just take off like just a bundled up fur on his pack, and just like cut off two little pieces of twine, and just the Cerberus hide will unfold.
Oh,
This was originally taken from Hades, but has since been gifted back to me from him. I think it's better in your hands.
are you sure? This was like a big. I mean, are you sure?
Of course, I'm sure. I'm pretty quick anyways. It won't slow me down, and it'll actually boost you up.
Oh, hell yeah! All right, I'll take it. All right, thank you, Silenos. You're a brother.
No problem. Give it a try on, and we'll start training and stuff. And I think that'll actually be a huge power boost for him. Whenever he
Oh yeah.
has advantage, he'll get a full bonus D6, and he has +1 AC and resistance to fire and necrotic damage.
Oh yeah, that'll be a big boost. That'll be a big boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him a proper block for next week.
Yeah, but so yeah, Silenos will gift that to him because he does not have enough attunement slots, and he hasn't really known what to do with it. So
Fair enough.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, if anyone's
Um,
got attunement items that they don't have slots for, we got a guy who has definitely open slots and need for equipment.
Okay. I definitely want to give him. Well, I want to give him the Spear of Kings. Will he be able to use its ability?
Maybe. You want to try and give it to him?
Yes.
He'll take it. And what's the ability?
The ability.
Or when a true king wields it, gets to do stuff.
Yeah, it says something like that. A creature that is attuned to this magic weapon can use a bonus action to cast spiritual weapon. This weapon appears in the form of the spear, blah, 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 blah. If you are attuned to the Spear of Kings and the Aegis of Kings, you may activate both using a single bonus action.
Yes,
Blah,
he
blah,
doesn't.
blah, blah.
Nobody's found the Aegis of Kings as of yet. That's something that still remains hidden away.
The
That
spear
was a
will
secret we never
awaken
did.
to a true and worthy king.
That's right.
but was it findable though?
Yeah, it was
That's
definitely
pretty sick.
findable.
That's
It's
pretty
around.
sick.
It's around. He'll take it and say, "Oh, the Spear of Kings. You took this from your brother. Are you sure? I mean, your future self brother person."
Well, the way I see it, it's still staying in the family.
All right. I don't know if I'm any kind of king, but I'll take it.
Yeah. And if you find yourself going back to the underworld, I don't know. Maybe you can hold on to it, or maybe you can give it back to Apollyon.
There's only two things you take with you, Ouroboros, and those are the coins you put on their eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when I inevitably get stepped on by something head and shoulders bigger than you can have it back.
Yeah. I also got a Pegasus if you want that.
I mean, I won't say no. You don't want. You just got too many Pegasus too.
I mean, I just want to give you the best chance. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Don't
Which I'm
worry.
sure you'll do great.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Fine. It's gonna be good. We're gonna kick some ass up there. We'll be fine.
All right.
So I've got the gods on my side, huh?
Every goddamn one.
He gets knocked off the mountain. He can't hang anymore. No, he's fine. But yeah, you guys have a big one. Yeah, it's gonna go all right. And he will get hooked up by Hercules, his father. He will get hooked up by Hephaestus. So despite his power level, he's gonna go in with some pretty rad gear that's gonna make up for any shortcomings.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. Incredible. But anyway, we'll circle back to you then, Ouroboros, in a minute. To your going to the giant capital. Just want to check to see if anybody else had some stuff to do around Olympos or otherwise other places. Yes, Alicia.
Well, after leaving the temple, I'm going to go try and standing there looking up the sky for a moment again. I just go off and try to find my father Pan.
You go look at the Pan, having a time trying to find him. You're spying around, and you find that he's like in a field somewhere, and you kind of pop off the side of the mountain, and you are taken there. Let's see, where can I send you? Sure, let's go there. Easy. We're going to the. Oh, cool. Yeah, I kind of looked up there.
What a menacing music! Yeah. Holy crap!
Yes, we're not actually in a battle right now.
Yeah, okay.
We're just in the nice. We're in a happy
That's okay.
forest.
It's okay.
Happy forest.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Pan just turns around. I should have ended you before you took hold.
I didn't mean to kill Jeremiah.
Who?
I just know that he died like a dog.
Who's Jeremiah?
Don't worry about it. What do you need? But no, you just find kind of out at the edge of the wood. He's sitting on a rock, or no, he's sitting on a log. He has his flute out. At the edge of the wood, you see that there's like a long field, and then there's like a farmer's ranch, and he's just kind of sitting there watching the farmer's ranch, and there's like a herd of sheep out there, and he's kind of hanging out, frolicking at the edge of the woods. He goes, "Oh, isn't it, my dear sparkling daughter? How are you doing?"
I'm a goddess now. Goddess of forgiveness.
Aye, yes, I can see. You're shiny. Look at you.
Goddess of forgiveness now.
Oh, does that mean you forgive me?
Maybe. Are you off trying to make me more brothers and sisters?
Nope. I'm actually working on that right now. The farmer's daughter here, I'm told, is a beautiful splendor.
Ryan, I will make a note of this place for later.
Understood.
I'll be Alicia will try to remember this place. She'll make a mental note of that.
I hear she likes to wander into the woods. You never know what dangers you might find in the woods. So I'm just keeping an eye out.
Mm-hmm. Try to be kind to her is all I ask.
I'm always kind, most of the time.
I give him a look.
What? Oh, I'm not wicked to poor little girls.
Anyway, as I've said, I've been appointed to the goddess of forgiveness and mercy.
Oh, very cool. Forgiveness? Why forgiveness? Seems like a weird thing.
Because I've thought that as well, but well, I've always been trying to counsel the Olympians to make peace with druids, and well, I suppose Zeus saw that in me. Besides, peace was already taken. I doubt you were going to give up your domain. As little as you do tend to it, you do enjoy being it. being the
I
Lord of
tend
Beasts.
to it plenty, I'll have you know.
I see. Well,
Maybe there's something you could learn about beasts from your old paw, considering I'm older than you, and I do indeed rule over beasts.
well, and what would that be?
Like, for one, they don't worry so much about stupid things like you do.
But
They worry about more important things, like eating and staying alive and not getting mauled to death tomorrow. Or even in an hour from now. And also, making babies and things like that.
yeah, he is. Yeah, if he's paying attention, all that you can tell that he could probably tell that she's troubled. Yeah, I'm caring less. I can see now. I know how that's a virtue.
No, don't care less. Just care about the right things. You think animals don't care? Animals have far more to care about than me or you. I mean, we're immortal. We ain't got a lot to care about. But beasts, any predator could come out of the woods, trying to find food. They got a docket of things to take care of every day.
Perhaps you can show me, talk to your friends, and share me their wisdom.
I think you could do all that yourself. I'm busy.
But
I got a
well,
young lady here to keep an eye on.
hold on. I still need you for something.
Oh, all right. What
I
do you
do.
need old Pan for?
Well, I do. You're right. I do, and I do care. Probably care too much. Focus on the right things. I envy that now in a way.
They should make you the goddess of worrying about things or
Maybe.
anxiety.
Father, you abandoned me. You've abandoned all our. Have you? I'm safe to say you've probably abandoned all your children like me.
I didn't abandon you. You were taken from my sight before you could even walk.
And you, feels like did you ever search?
I didn't need to search. I knew where you were until that lady came and took you to places I couldn't see.
Perhaps it's for the best and the worst.
Let me ask you something, you high in mightiness. You're the goddess of forgiveness, right?
Yes.
Does that mean you're going to be personally involved in every given moment of every given time of anyone who needs to forgive somebody? You think you can talk to all of them all at once, every moment of every day? Never have to sleep, never have to eat? You're a god, but you're not that powerful.
True.
What do you think happens if old Pan stops wandering around the woods?
Nature withers and dies.
That's right. That's right.
I think, Father, after all this, I might try your path for a few years.
And what path is that?
Wander around.
And?
Just be away from Olympus for a while. Focus on things.
Hiding?
Focus on things. Focus on things like the way your friends, the animals. Focus on the important things.
Wrong. You have a job to do, and I warned you that when you became a god. I consider it, didn't I?
People need forgiveness everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I won't.
Is that what you plan to do?
I've planned to ask you 2 questions.
Oh.
Oh, well, I have 2 asks for you.
Mm-hmm.
As I said earlier, you did abandon me, Father. At least I felt it. But I will forgive you everything. Everything, but I ask for 2 things. 1. My friend Thalia, you know of her?
I heard about her. I hear she's lovely and all.
There will be...
Got a wide defense measure of gentlemen around her. Makes it hard to get a word in.
Don't ever think about it. But
I think about it.
I will.
That's about all I can do.
But she has family down in Greece.
Uh-huh.
And I tell them their location, their names.
What are you about to do with these tender mortals?
It's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want you to go. I want you to find and send a message to every living thing and every plant in the world. Everything that crawls, everything that flies, everything that swims or bites and tears or crawls or wriggles in the ground ground
I
any
get it. I get
bear.
it.
And but I just ask to send a message and just tell them to never harm these two.
That's a big ask. What's old Pan getting in exchange? The forgiveness of his daughter, who, let's be honest, doesn't actually forgive me?
I will forgive you. And there was a second ask I would ask. Something I would ask. Another thing. The best knowledge of where my other siblings are.
Oh,
I know you're
boy.
busy. I know you are busy, and I know how you are. If someone is to watch over them, then let me do it.
I decline your offer. And I'll tell you why I decline your offer. Because you are looking down your nose at me. That's why. You think that you could do being a god better than I can. Now, while I was out here, I was dallying in the forest and making babies and such and not giving a fuck about nothing. And you think that you'd do it better. And for that, I'm going to be kind and only decline your offer. I tell you, there's some gods in Olympus who do far worse to you for making such a suggestion. But I'll tell you what, however you may feel, I didn't abandon you. You were taken.
Well, thank you.
And however you feel about your brothers and sisters, you have a responsibility now, just as I do. You need to go to every little person all across the world who needs to forgive someone, and you need to help guide them to that forgiveness. That's your job now. Where in there do you think you're going to have time to connect with all your brothers and sisters, let alone whatever babies you decide to pop out? Because let's be honest, you're going to be popping out babies one day or another. So,
One day.
when you have a child, and you can manage your domain, and keep up with this child and treat them like a proper mortal parent, which is impossible, then you can come to me and talk to me about forgiveness. And that's me teaching you about your own domain, girl.
Will you not even protect them?
Of course I protect them!
No, I'm not them. Not your children, I mean. Thalia's family, Thalia's mortal family.
And what do I get for protecting these flesh bags?
Well, and I lean into him and say, because the best way to a woman's heart sometimes, Father, is hearing about how you went out of your way to save the ones they loved. Now that's a
what
tale.
girl would this be?
The goddess of grace.
But everyone knows the goddess of grace has got eyes for Zeus, alright?
Things can change. Eternity's a long time, Father. That's all I ask.
Make a persuasion check.
Are we gonna sleep before we go fight Kronos, or?
You don't even know where he is yet.
Okay.
So probably.
Okay. I don't know. Persuasion. Here we go.
Will not rest until he's found.
Okay, may I use a luck?
Sure.
No dice. 7.
7. He goes, your offer is declined. When you can do what I do better, then you can come to me and talk about forgiveness. Until then, you can go up to your high hill.
I wish things were different between us, Father. I do.
Your decision to make?
Well, maybe this will be the first step of it. And I give him a hug.
give him a hug. He's like a little like surprised that it's happening, and he'll accept the hug eventually, a little haphazardly. It's odd for him, but he'll embrace the hug wholeheartedly eventually.
I'll see. Well, I'll see you back on Olympus, Father. And before, and I may come back here not in about 9 months, and she'll take off.
9 months. We just hugged. What? That's so good. What?
No,
What the fuck?
no, I was talking about the farmer's daughter. You knuck. I looked to the farmer's daughter like,
Yeah, whatever. You
know.
leave him confused. He's like, what? 9 months? And then he does indeed turn his attention.
My father's an idiot.
Yeah. At the end of the day, your father isn't actually an idiot. He's just a little more simple than the rest of the gods.
Yeah.
He's a little more rustic.
I like that about him, but also drives me insane.
Fuck that guy.
Yep. He's not as high and mighty as the rest of the gods. He's a little more simple. His simpler appetites.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you head off, and he's like, 9 months. What does that mean? And then he sees the farmer's daughter come out, dancing along, frolicking in the fields, and he rubs his hands together.
Does he put it together? What I said?
Will fade away. No, he's not thinking about that anymore. He's on to the next thing.
Water off a duck's ass.
Yeah.
And unless someone else has something to do, I'll just ask Gyasi, but I can wait.
Okay. We'll swap around. Let's see. Does anybody else have anything to do? Katara.
I was gonna go find Thalia.
Okay, you find Thalia at her lovely home, beautifully interior decorated by a druid. So needs some work, but it's okay. But you do find Thalia in her home in Olympus.
How are you doing?
I'm very pregnant.
I know.
suspect by now. Mm-hmm. No morning sickness. Sorry, what did you say?
I just said I know.
This is new, but good. Yeah, no morning sickness. So I must be. And she'll kind of roll her eyes, like blessed by the goddess of motherhood.
I suppose. As we're getting ready for the final battle, I had a thought. I noticed the bracelet that Hephaestus gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is different. You had him change it before we left. And I wonder if we could bring him the one that he fixed or improved, if he could do something similar for the rest of us.
Potentially, it's worth asking. He improved it quite a bit for me, so it would definitely help.
Do you mind walking with me to Festus's forge?
No, not at all. And she'll extend her arm to take yours, if you allow.
Awkwardly do the arm length thing.
And Thai doesn't mind at all the awkwardness, and will happily stroll along with Katara. And a little gossipy, she'll like lean over and say, by the way, I have a little secret on the loose that I think you'll be able to see through quite easily, and I'm hoping you'd be willing to keep it a secret.
I'm intrigued.
Yes, in the name of Kronos, and she'll leave it at that.
And then she'll nod at that, and then kind of just continue walking.
Perfect.
The creepiest girl at the party and the prettiest girl at the party go wandering through the gardens. Sorry, was that Thalia?
Oh, just going to see my second least favorite person on the mountain as well.
My second least favorite. Yeah, you guys walk through. The dwarves are foraging. The cyclopses are working away, building lightning bolts. You see the clockwork owl sort of flying around. And Hephaestus turns around and goes, "Oh," and sees you and kind of like grabs it and like hides it away. He goes, "Hi, ladies. What do you want? What can I do for you?"
Well, Festus, I'm wondering if you might be able to replicate something that your, well, future self that's no longer to be did.
Yeah, and Thalia and her arm with the so it's a snake that like wraps around her hand and kind of comes to a point at the top of her hand. Very elegant, very beautiful. And yeah, she will show it to Festus.
He'll look at it and like put his hands out like, "Okay, shit, I'm just gonna," like almost like he's trying to take it off of you while not touching you at the same time, which is impossible. But he does take it off of you, kind of like at the last moment. He just kind of takes it off really quick and kind of, "Hey, well, it's yeah, it's my work." And I made this. You said I made this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I made many
right.
things.
I noticed. This is a lot. This is very powerful. I mean, I could try and get started. It's a really big enchantment, and this is a pretty powerful thing. I'm gonna take up things this powerful with Zeus and see if he's okay with that amount. I can get to work on it. It might take a while though. This is a pretty powerful enchantment.
Okay.
Well, I will remove mine and see if, and just leave it there.
Oh, you keep it. You keep that. I'll take it from you when I need it.
Well, your future self was able to create it in like less than a day.
Okay. Well, I could, if I wanted to, create it in a similar time frame.
I bet you could, yeah. I'm sure you could try anyway.
But you see, part of being the craftsman god isn't just about crafting everything. So it's also about seeing to it that certain things don't get crafted at the same time. Like I could make like
kill Kronos in like a day or two, right?
Yeah, but this doesn't help. You're like kind of with your thing. This doesn't have the power to like kill Kronos, and it never will. There's only certain things that can kill Kronos.
It'll help us though.
Isn't the fact that it's already made and now in the world defeat the purpose of trying to control the fact that...
but it's in the world of Olympus, not in the world of mortals. And like I said, I gotta take it up with Zeus. I gotta get his stamp of approval on creating something of this level of power. He's you guys suddenly showed up with a lot of really cool stuff. I was pretty generous with my talents, it seems, in the future.
Yeah. I'll just sort of like
I think it will help with protecting Thalia, and I'll kind of like gesture towards her belly as a little warning there.
Oh, okay.
Just something for Zeus to consider.
Right. I'll take it up with him. Okay. I'll talk to him.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Oh, poor Hephaestus.
Oh. Everyone's so mean to him, and by everyone I mean just you.
I want cool things.
I want cool things. Give cool things. You got enough cool shit. I gave you lots of cool shit.
Oh, 100%, but I think might as well try.
Might as well try. Throw my hat in the ring.
Hopefully I didn't just get rid of your stuff, Delia.
I'll come pick it up.
Yeah, he gives it back to you. Yeah, he gives it back to you.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Doesn't he need it to replicate it? Or?
He goes, no, I don't need it to replicate it. I've seen it. Now I know how it works.
Ah.
Oh, okay. You should put it back on. Yeah.
Good. Bye. He like watches you all like you see how long his hall is. Like he watches you guys till you're like outside that door down there. He doesn't like go back to what he's doing until you're like fully going. And then
Oh man.
All right. With that, we're going to say that the day is coming to an end. And all of you can begin to head to your various places of sleep. In the morning, Gyasi will be able to try his scry once more, attempts to locate Kronos, and you guys will all have the opportunity to continue with your last things. But let's take our break now.
Okay.
Yeah, take about a 15-minute break. Be back in and around that time. We'll head to bed. Another night on Olympus.
Might I do
Yes.
thing before we retire?
Sure.
I'm gonna go try and find Gyasi.
Okay. Gyasi, you would have had a new temple home set up for you here in Olympus. One for you to reside in. And as you're trying to figure out what are you going to do with the place, you are approached by Alicia.
Hi, for a ball. How you doing?
What did you call me?
I'm joking. The great god of the Watchers.
What's on your mind?
Can we go somewhere? Can we go somewhere private, perhaps?
I was not outfitted, but please step inside.
Is
You
this?
indeed step inside of a blank slate of a new temple home.
It's lovely place. Good to see you.
It needs work. You throw pillows, a couple of blankets, a cat house motif.
I think you'll make it a very good home for yourself.
Gotta have some place to keep the loot. So
I spoke with the Fates.
I'm assuming that they were as indirect and difficult as my one encounter with them has been.
Yeah. In a way, yes. In a way, no. Actually, the opposite. Very direct. Unfortunately.
So, what's the problem?
There it seems there are not many choices for me. It feels like they say they have a choice, but I feel as though this is going to happen whether I'm here or not. And she kind of looks around to make sure no one else is here. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the future. Because I know what killing Kronos will likely mean.
Okay. And you're extrapolating this based on what? Have you killed a Titan before?
It will tempt the wrath of Gaea.
And work me through how you think that that's absolutely going to be the case.
She is the walled Gyasi. She has eyes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
How long can we truly deceive her?
I suppose that depends on how long she stays asleep. Because the instant she wakes up, we're all dead.
She's been asleep for a long time. Her wrath will be known even as she sleeps.
Yes, but it will be significantly more tempered because she is asleep. One presumes.
And war may likely break out again between the gods and the druids.
According to who?
The way of things, the way it will likely be, same reason why a boulder falls from the mountain and the river flows to the sea.
Gyasi is going to come up and he's going to walk over. He's going to put his hands on his shoulders, and then he's going to reach back and he's going to slap you across the face. Snap out of it. If you were a man, I'd tell you to grow a pair. Gaea put in place that things are born, they live, they die. Everything feeds something else. I'm eventually going to be whatever worms eat God's bodies. If I were immortal, I'd die, I'd be put in the ground, or I'd become fish food. That's the circle. She gets bent over every single one of those.
She's like the most direct child. She'll likely be.
She directly created a lot of things. A lot of them. And let's not forget that on the ultimate time scale, everything, you, me, everything, including Gaea, are gonna fall to Nyx. Everything. Every last thing. So, is she gonna be upset? Yes. Is a murderer's mother upset when her child is found guilty and treated appropriately? Perhaps. I'm certain that there's sadness and grief associated with that, but there's also understanding. She is not so hidebound that she will not see the necessity. Is she going to be upset about it? Yes. Are some of the druids going to be upset about it? Perhaps, if that's how she directs them. But ultimately, they have decisions as well. And you and I sit in a spot to act as a bridge, as a way to diffuse those situations so they don't happen. You are not powerless. If you accept powerlessness as your cornerstone, you are not the person that I got to know half a year ago, who took a creature the size of a small hill and threw it 90 feet in the air and held it there by the power of your will. Since then, you've put on a few more stone. In the power department, you are not without choice. Are the choices infinite? No, probably not. Do all of them matter? Again, probably not. But anything that the fates put in place, it's not absolutely set in stone. Weird nonsense happens all the time because there are all sorts of things tugging at that skein that they weave. absolutely every day. Now, are there chances that problem A is more likely or problem B? You betcha. And that's mostly what they've got to tell you. But nothing is doomed. If you accept that, then what's the point? If you accept that, why strive? Why look forward to tomorrow? You can't carry the weight of making everybody happy all of the time. What you can do is decide where your beliefs, where your heart lie. What seems like the best of all possible choices based on the information that you have available, and make a choice. Will it be right? Not all the time. Will it be wrong? Again, not all of the time.
Gyasi.
But it's a choice that you can live with. You are not ultimately beholden to every power under creation. You have some responsibilities. Sure, I have some responsibilities. But we are not responsible for every ticking piece. One of the things that we're trying to do is to fix something that is currently broken. Is it the best of all possible ideas? No. But it's an idea. It's better than what we currently have, because this bad process has repeated itself twice.
What option do you think I could do? Feels like it's been decided that Kronos will die.
Absolutely. Kronos will die.
I feel as though coming here, I thought you might you might see what I'm feeling more, because
I understand that you feel like you're being torn in two separate directions. Here's the reality. Can you have everything? Can you ultimately find the eye of the needle to thread through where everybody is happy? He has the power stripped away. No. There is no finesse to thread through. There is no eye of the needle. We were left with an option that was bad and one that was untried. We know that the one was bad because it's been done before and it's failed. The why that it failed was multifold, but ultimately came down to the frailty of ego.
Frailty of ego. You have a way of words, you know that?
Ultimately, the crux of the problem is that a universal power resides in somebody who is greedy, wrathful, and seeks only to destroy all that has been created and remake it in an image that he finds acceptable.
I know.
Do you think Gaea would approve of that choice? Destroy everything that's down there. Every mortal, every
No.
plant, every flower, every tree. All of it. Wiped away, gone.
No, she wouldn't. Nor will she approve of destroying Kronos. But it seems as though she won't be happy no matter what.
And that is not your problem. That is her problem.
Well,
A mother and will love their children. Will they love them all equally? Maybe yes, maybe no. But guidance was imbued into each of us to anticipate the future, to see problems, try to find solutions, to improve and make things better. That is her gift to each of us.
We'll have to make the best of what we can.
Absolutely.
I think there's a word for that. It's called ameliorate.
You try to exactly so.
Thank you, Gyasi. Before I leave you, I'm going to just ask one last thing.
How can I help?
Can you send a message?
Sure.
Can you send a message across the plains to the lands of Gaea?
In the morning before I do my scrying, absolutely.
Well, I'll write it down for you.
Sure.
It's a message to Maeve. It is that I love you. I understand now, and why you weren't honest. And long story short, it's saying why this is. I love you. I'm sorry. This is. I understand now. I forgive you of everything. I don't know if I'll see you again. My place may, but yada yada yada.
Stop. I don't do relationship stuff like Thalia or her mother. Actually, any of her family, generally speaking. But I've been hanging out long enough, and I'm smart enough to tell you, if this is important for you to say, and it certainly sounds like it is really important, we will find a way for you to have that conversation with her directly. Period. There will be a way. It can be facilitated. And if we need to do it before we go head to head with Kronos, I will personally see it done. But that's a message you need to deliver. That is exactly your purview.
Okay.
That is your grace. That is your fellowship. That is your pain. Inside of that space, really, there is nobody who can deny you. Embrace what it is that you have. Embrace who you are.
Okay.
Make a decision, take action. You can do this. If you need me to go with you, I am happy to go with you.
Oh.
We have time. I am happy to make the arrangements to find a place that the two of you can have some time. We can probably talk with Katara and borrow the island, and you two can have some beach time, and you can chit chat in a place that really has been designed to be unwatched. Getting here from there is not a problem. Getting to Gaea and creating a gate to bring her out, I can facilitate.
Perhaps. Thank you, Gyasi. Perhaps.
Hey, it's been a busy couple of days, particularly for you.
I suppose so.
It's okay. Embrace who you are. Embrace what you are.
Okay.
There is space inside of your domain to even address the pain that doing the best that we can with Kronos is for Gaea. What is your granted domain?
Forgiveness. That may be important days ahead, the time ahead. But thank you, Gyasi.
It absolutely will. And if I can help you facilitate, I'm happy to do it.
Okay. That talk with Maeve, that may have to happen potentially after Kronos.
Anything that I can do.
Alicia will give Gyasi a hug and walk away. And she'll just go to whatever temple she might have and just meditate and just try to feel everything.
So with that, you all get a long rest.
Yay!
Right along.
Press the button.
Exactly. What about our other four? You guys have had a very eventful day yesterday, and maybe you guys have some final things you wish to wrap up before the finality of what may come today. Okay, if the answer is no.
I would like to go somewhere dark on Olympus.
There's that perfectly good cave.
Yeah. You find a good cave, walk into it, and shit, it's so dark and gloomy in here.
Cool. Yeah.
What would you like to do in the dark?
Yeah, all good. I'm just gonna cast silence. Oh wait, I don't know if I actually can do that. I thought it was a Gloomstalker thing, but I might not be able to.
I think you get that from Shadow Monk.
Yes, actually, yes, I do. Yeah, so I will. Actually, it's more for flavor. It's not really a huge deal. I'm just gonna do a prayer to Nyx in this darkness, and just take off my bow, take off the little deer figurine I have, set him down, unwrap my hands, take off my eye wrappings, and then just say a prayer to Nyx and just gonna say, I'm sure you know it was close to the end before. I want to say thank you for the assistance previously. I have one final offering for you. The Lord of Time falls. He will be put to the end. I wish for you to seal him. And yeah, he'll just continually think that and just sit in this cave and either like pray it or think that or try and do like a spell to communicate that. But
Yeah.
he's connected with Nyx in the past and it was kind of unfinished. So it feels like
absolutely. You give me a religion check.
Sure. It's gonna be a 19.
19. You know that killing an immortal is very hard, very difficult, if impossible to do. The death of Kronos, while everyone talks about it like it's a finality, the actual accomplishing of that might be a little more difficult. But Nyx is darkness, and more importantly, Nyx is end, and all things end. You think on this, and you're certain that Zeus and Poseidon and Hades, the most powerful amongst the gods, surely plot as to how to accomplish this.
They can't communicate in the way that Silenos can, so he just continually thinks and reaches out, divinely but respectfully, but kind of with reverence, but also respect.
You feel a draw. Hold. You are in darkness, but not in that vast primordial darkness that you were once shunted from long ago, that no god dare tread. In the pure darkness in the lands of Nyx of the underworld, you feel a draw once more. You were never so close to Nyx as when you were within those lands, but almost like an invitation. You feel a draw. You feel a pull. Something with purpose to it. Not to you, but to endings.
To endings, you said? Sorry, I just kind of...
Endings, yes. To the nature of end.
Okay. And does this feel kind of like more like a little just ping in his head, or does it feel like a continual kind of thought that he refers?
It's strange. Whenever you've met with Nyx, it feels like it's just you. It feels like a dream, like something you conjured from your subconscious and whatnot. And it feels the same now. It feels like as you're in this darkness and you're sitting in this darkness, you're trying to commune with her. You know that your communion with her has never been so strong as it is within those lands. And maybe it's you, or maybe this is how the primordials work. You're not terribly sure, but you do feel this pull to return.
Okay. Silenos will make a round to whoever he can cross paths with on the way back, just saying, hey, how's it going? Check in, give him a hug. Thalia, he'll take her hand and like kiss her hand, wish her luck, give her like an ice pack or something, make her feel better. Try and help. But yeah, and then he's gonna go to Athena's temple.
Okay, stick with this for a minute. This is interesting. Go to Athena's temple. You would find her in her archive. She was working away with a little bit more severity than you've often seen her, and she's often quite severe. So there's something she's trying to figure out, and you approach.
Pondering something? Goddess of Wisdom?
Yes. when the king declares something must be done, it's to his servants to figure out how it is to actually be done. So, trying to figure out the whole killing Kronos thing, it's not something that will be done easily. Is there something I can do for you?
There is. It's about that. Let's go inside.
Okay. She'll sit back on her seat, here down in the pits of her archives.
You are intimately familiar with my relationship with Nyx in the past. I'm aware of your disapproval of it. And it was something that I turned my back on completely for Olympus. However, when we failed, we had to go back. It was my only choice, but to ask for that power once again to get us back here. Thinking about that, I think they might see the end of Kronos as a victory unto themselves. I think perhaps I can broker a deal or work as a segue.
You are a god now, Silenos.
Of course.
And I have perhaps spent too much time standing in the way of you and your friends. You seem to have surprising and quick influence on this earth and how things have changed with you here. I want you to understand why it is I have advised so harshly against the meeting of Nyx. You, I think, understand her more than most. She is End. And the gods, well, we have a fascination with you see. And it is Nyx who can bring that about. So there is a seductive lure to her. It is one that we must caution ourselves against. I would ask that you bring your mother when you go. She is the goddess of night. She is the goddess of the moon. And she should learn to understand Nyx as you do.
I agree. You, I know, care about her as much, if not more, than I do. Do you think that I could protect her from being there?
I don't know. But I trust you know your path well. And as the goddess of the moon, this is something that Artemis should learn.
I couldn't agree more. With reverence to Katara, this wasn't a secret I wanted to keep. This is something I'm going to investigate at once. If you would like to discuss it with anyone else or have any concerns, I would appreciate being a part of that conversation. But I'm going to make haste now, as we don't have time, obviously.
Go with my blessings. This could be the key.
Throws the little figurine down, hops on, and tears off to Artemis's temple. And then adds, really cool moment, re-adds the deer back to her chariot, and then they just like tear off.
Yeah, she's like, where do we go?
I tell her everything on the way. I understand this isn't the same darkness as you, but it's also the ending. It is finality, and this is a chapter that we have to have a stable close on. I think you are one of the only people who can help me with this.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, and we'll go to that portal to hell that's here.
Oh yeah, you ride straight down the Doge, making their way down. You descend down into the underworld and move across the lands of Hades directly towards that black spot deep on the edges of the underworld where even Hades dare not tread. But you do. And you feel your mother sort of tense as you draw near.
I was gonna say, as we're going in, can I take off my blindfold and actually put it on her? I remember the first time Silenos came in here, he was seeing things. Just, please, let me take the reins. Just for now.
Make a persuasion check.
Rolled so bad, but that's still a 19.
19. As you tell her everything, you tell her that you have the support of Athena, that even she said that she must understand, and you ask for her trust. These things lower the DC down. She does, despite her admitted fear.
I
agree.
I'm sorry. I can't trust your eyes. It might try and trick you.
Okay, I understand.
And I'll lead directly to the most concentrated point of darkness.
You do. You make your way there, and you enter within. To your eyes, it is nothing more than than another part of the underworld, because you do not see with eyes, you see with something more. And you enter within. Just getting that little space ready to do time. We had a.
As we come in, Silenos will yell out from the chariot. He'll just say, I know you know I'm here. I just wish to say, my mother, Artemis, goddess of the hunt and the moon, is with me. She, too, respects your domain. And I wish to show her. And I'll just continue. And yeah, he'll just say that as they're going in.
Absolutely. There are no words returned, but you land here. As you do so, the does sort of reel back in pain and diminish into their smaller forms. And frankly, you guys kind of crash land. But you're gods, you shit. Yeah. You land, pick yourselves back up. Artemis, very much like holding on to you.
Yeah, I'll take the blindfold off. It's okay. You won't see anything. I didn't know about getting here.
Right.
Just listen. Try and connect. And Silenos will use 2 key points to cast darkness on them using his monk abilities, which are more so from Nyx.
Understood. As you do so, you feel something odd, more odd than before. As you essentially, through the nature of the spell, summon darkness to you, you are surrounded by it already. And in this moment, you do feel this grand pull towards you as you try and enclose yourself in even a greater darkness. You feel the presence of this place drawing towards you as if pulling the plug in a bathtub, and all the darkness were beginning to swirl and slowly close toward it as you summon your key power to try and bring this place to grant you more darkness. It all begins to pull towards you like a great wave of Nyx herself.
As a note, Silenos will stand in front of Artemis. In the way in which the wave is coming.
Understood. And it comes from all directions and indeed swirls sort of around you, and you stand protectively before Artemis as she stands here in fear and tries to comprehend the power of darkness. You feel that your darkness spell is more than it ever was. And rather than actually creating darkness around you, it's more working differently this time, and it's sort of pulling it towards you. Artemis says, great hunter, from her blindness, knows how to hunt by the moon. Night is not the great time for the hunter unless they have eyes for the darkness. But it is the truly great hunter who has won the darkness, I suppose, and uses it against their enemies. And perhaps that is why we are here, son. So use it. You understand this better than I do. Find a way to use it against our enemies. As she says this, she's a god. She's been a god longer, and perhaps there's wisdom to what she says. As you feel this darkness drawing towards you, Silenos, in what form would you use the darkness against your enemies?
Meaning,
How would
like,
you shape it? How would you wield it?
yeah, I think it would be like a negativity thing. Silenos has the bow of Hestia, or I think it's Hestia and Artemis, which kind of does life. I think it would be the opposite, negative energy, and like kind of the reduction and just erasal of things.
As you're summoning this key to you, it pulls from you the rest of your key points. And all the blackness of all the lands of darkness here draw towards you in this moment, Silenos. And in the center, in the palm of your hand, is concentrated darkness. Usually it's this 20-foot radius sphere, but in this moment, it is condensed like a black hole or a collapsing sun of immense gravity and a place of defiance that is beyond the planes or even between it. Artemis says, gods have died, and when they have died, they have become the stars in the sky. We are but starlight, we gods in our celestial power. The darkness is the space between. And in that moment, indeed, all that darkness summons into that condensed orb in the middle of your hands and scatters the lands of Nyx, of darkness, away of darkness. There is none left. It is clear, and the sun shines upon this place as it has never before. This is no longer a land that belongs to Nyx, for it has culminated and combined itself into a single dagger, pure darkness in your palm, more like a shard than anything. But it's just the concentrated power of Nyx, the concentrated power of it lies in your hand.
Yeah, I think Silenos would get up. He'll take Artemis's hand, bow, stretch the string out, put it over his back, dagger right in the front, right here. Take Artemis's hand and just lead her back towards I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on Katara's mom's name.
Hecate.
Hecate. Why don't we go see Hecate while we're here?
Yes. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's right.
And
Sure.
just relax. I'll take you out of here.
Yeah. And you take cut to you at Hecate's house. Hecate, the three forms of Hecate like serving tea to Artemis, who just doesn't drink it because it's Hecate, and to you as well, Silenos. She says, "You are an odd one, Silenos. I have had many acolytes. I have had many daughters, all bound in the power of darkness. Katara, my most favorite, but you, the darkness draws towards like nothing I have seen, like a magnet." She looks at the dagger strapped to your chest and says, "This is the dagger of Nyx, and it can only be used once. So be sure, Silenos, only use it when your enemy is most vulnerable, when he is truly vulnerable, and not before. When he has nothing left to give in the fight, when he is falling before you, only then will you have a chance. You have the power to slay an immortal. Use it wisely."
I tried to do you proud, and Hecate did it.
And Bessie,
Yeah. And then he'll just have tea and go back to Olympus. And he will share fully with Athena also what Hecate has told him about it, how it works.
Got it. And Athena, and I'll simply say that Athena treats it with, you see in her eyes, she keep almost watches the dagger more than you in the room, like carefully so, and warns you you have the power to slay an immortal and to be cautious with it. One immortal. Be cautious.
Of course. You won't leave here. And he'll actually like tuck it under like his robe.
Power to kill a god. Power to kill a titan. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But you have been
Yeah.
granted it.
Sorry to have
Okay.
the discussion, y'all.
No, you're good. All right. Pull away from that. Katara, Ouroboros, Thalia, you guys have any last things?
Let's go to the giant capital.
Giant capital.
I kind of want to. I don't know exactly where Boreas would put me, but I would like to go in the room that she's in, which I don't know. Probably just at the throne room.
The power on the wind, Ouroboros. You emerge, and I assume you sort of get into your rage to be of giant size.
Mm-hmm.
You do indeed appear before the throne of Pallas. Indeed, the throne of Pallas it remains, though it another butt might sit on it. You sit in this. You appear in this throne room, and the various giants in the room do sort of regard you with a healthy dose of fear and respect. And your mother does sit upon her throne. She stands and looks at you, almost judgingly, but not quite. Says, "Oh, son, you've been gone."
Indeed, I have, Mother.
Welcome
There
back.
were very pressing matters that I had to attend to.
And you have gained much from your father, it seems.
I have.
Welcome. What is it that giant kind can do for the Lord of Pain?
Well, I was hoping that giant kind could spare their leader, and I was hoping that my mother could speak to me.
He turns, nods to her left and right, and the giants will, again respectfully, vacate the room until the throne room is vacant. It's just you and she. And she will, she rose from her throne as you appeared, almost in a way of saying, like, I am not superior to you. And as they all leave the room, she still kind of looks at you, and you see this, like, as ever, your mother has always had this look of, like, severity or focus, and it doesn't leave her face now. As if she's trying to get the measure of you, as if she's trying to decipher why you're here before you tell her.
Would you mind why don't we have a seat? Maybe somewhere where there is beverages?
She'll gesture. and will walk alongside you, and you'll make your way from the throne room into the feast hall. Where as the door opens, again, the many heads turn to see, and with a wave of a hand, the mostly cloud giants scatter slowly and respectfully from the feast hall, and you two sort of pick a bench and sit there. Yes. So, I hope the hospitality of giants is not offended.
Well, it would certainly seem that hospitality still reigns.
Good. I must thank you for upholding your end of the deal. It is good to know that giant kind will have a new era upon it. We will not diminish, as many do.
And it brings me great joy to know that a piece of me will not die in this world.
I'm curious, son, have you found someone to carry on your legacy? Do you intend to have a son of your own?
No, I have not as of yet.
There are many amongst giant kind who would wish for your power to be in their bloodline. Rumor has it that there are Amazonians who are preparing to deliver a new generation of your children.
Yeah, I mean, they're not exactly, wedded children, but
I expected not.
yeah, I mean, but in that same vein, I mean, I guess you are gonna be a grandma, so
I expect I
if
will
that's
be
any
no more a
consolation.
grandmother to these children as you will be to yours.
Indeed. Aside from, wanting to see you, I thought that, maybe you have some things on your mind. Like any tough decisions or conundrums. I just learned that word like 2 weeks ago.
There will always be conundrums, my son, when
yeah,
it comes to leading.
conundrum.
Indeed. Nothing that you need worry yourself over. The giants wish to spread. We were never a kind meant to all roam as one. Stone giants wish to go to the mountains of the northwest, so I'm sure you've seen the migration can begin. The hill giants wish to wander wherever is near towards the nearest human settlement that they might take from them enough food to gorge on. Fire giants seek flame that is not claimed by Hephaestus, which will be difficult. I imagine they will leave these lands forever. Perhaps head east to Persia. Cloud giants remain here at the center of diplomacy, and the frost giants mean to head north out of these lands, where it is coldest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that sounds great. I mean, what are you doing?
He puts a hand on her stomach. Because I'm preparing for the next line of storm giants.
Who is the father?
Now, a worthy cloud giant was chosen to be granted the power of the new blood, thanks to you and your friends granting me what I require. To make this line of storm giants possible. We will not fear Zeus as we have in the past.
Yeah. What is I guess at this point in the game, what are your intentions?
To recover, we lost much in the war with the Amazons. That is all. Fortify, defend ourselves as needed, grow stronger, and then we'll see.
I agree with propagating and expanding your borders and, you know, really shoring up yourselves, but I doubt there are many who would want to attack you.
Power invites challenge. Giants are mighty people.
Indeed.
You should be cautious as well. Even the very presence of Olympus invites challenge.
Well, is it possible I could meet the father of my half-brother?
If that is your wish, God of pain.
Mother. And he'll kind of reach for her hand across the table. I may be a god. The god of pain. But the very first thing I was when I came into this world was your son. And while I do appreciate the sentiments, I do not want it to and as I've experienced before, you seem like you want to love, to have that bond. But there is something in your heart or your mind that's stopping you from embracing it.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
Persuasion? Persuasion?
Oh shit, wrong one. That'll be 25.
25.
Oh, it was actually a natural 20.
Oh, we'll take it. She looks at you and says, of course there is. Ouroboros. You are not very experienced in your godhood if you do not understand why. I feel in every waking moment pain. I feel in every step, in every decision, in every comfort, pain. I am the life of our people that you have turned your back on, son. I am every giant who is stepped on by the gods. I am every mother who had their child taken by their father for some forlorn destiny of greatness in battle and slaughter. How you have suffered and now been brainwashed by your father. And how our people have time and time again been laid low by Palos, first tyrant, and then conquered by my own flesh and blood. I stand here picking up the pieces of the people you destroyed, son. So if I seem cold or tempered, please understand. I carry the weight of my people's hopes and dreams on my back. Hopes and dreams that have been shattered for this generation and perhaps even the next. Do not try and do what you will do next. Convince me that everything is all right, and that there is some silver lining to what has happened. Understand the reality of the situation. The giants are a conquered people. My son has been taken from me. There is no consolation.
Well then. If I can't offer you any consolation, then I will offer my apologies. And I hope that one day you will realize that no one has taken me from you. I'm here. And I'm still the child you gave birth to. The child you left aside.
When you leave, do not leave with any misconceptions. It was not me who put you on that monastery on that hill that was burnt to the ground and you were enslaved from. That was Zeus. I gave birth to you from my own womb, and I loved you the moment I laid eyes on you. And then Zeus took you from me to a place I could never find until it was too late. You were already his parents. I had no chance of having you understand the plight of our people, because you are more god than giant. You always were. Not your fault, but it is what it is.
I may be more god than giant now. But one thing that I have carried with me ever since I knew of your existence, ever since everything living about me was torn asunder and turned into something immortal, I have carried my love for you. And while I know that our family can never be united, not with my father's judgment, and it seems yours as well, your hate for what helped make me. But one day, you will regret not trying.
He will step up to you and put a gentle hand on your cheek. And you will see the cold exterior melt for a moment, and she'll kind of look at the details and contours of your face, the markings you hold, and smile gently. As gentle and compassionately as you've ever seen her, you see the mother come out, as you don't often see. And then with the hands still on your face, it goes away. It becomes icy once more, icy enough to send a chill down your spine. And the thumb sort of goes around almost like to your jaws if to like hold your focus. Not like jerking you or anything, but still.
Yeah.
It's not as affectionate any longer.
Yeah.
And she says, "It's time for you to go."
I will take my leave.
And don't ever, for the rest of your days, no matter what you think of me, no matter what I have done or will do, think for a moment I haven't given everything inside of me to our people and to you. No matter what. And she kind of moves her hand a little, almost not intentionally pushing your face aside, but a little dismissively, like, done. And she'll show you her back. And she will walk away.
As she's walking away, I'll stand up, and without looking in her direction, just straight on, 1,000-yard stare, I'll use thaumaturgy, and I will say, "I will be watching, Mother."
He stops at the door as this voice barrels across the hall, and probably heard long down the halls of Giant Kind. And she kind of has her hand on the door and kind of looks over her shoulder, doesn't make eye contact with you, but the chin turns. And she leaves the room, closes the door behind her.
Glorious.
Power of the wind, you are going.
Dope.
Thalia! Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Are we gonna get another long rest before we fight Kronos?
No. I can't predict the future.
Then yeah, but I have something I want to do at the end of the day.
Hope y'all don't need any stunning strikes.
You can short rest those back if you want. It's true, it's been a busy day. Maybe you'll do it tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'll yeah, I want to cast a spell, but I'm gonna do it at the end of the day.
Okay, wait for the end of the day.
Silenos would like to use a couple charges on his scimitar to create a feast. He'll use like two charges and use create food and water and make like a big feast for everyone.
Okay, maybe we'll do that at the end of the night. Yep, when everyone rallies, because you've been off doing stuff, and Ouroboros is off doing stuff, and everyone's off doing stuff. Is there anything else? Yes, Alicia?
Silenos, Alicia can help out with that, with Hero's Feast if you want any help with that.
It's a spell. It's not something you really get help with, unfortunately.
Okay then.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, the next time she sees Thalia, she just give her a hug for one.
I'm gonna move. You and Gyasi had a lot of time.
Okay, no
so
problem.
I'm gonna want to make sure all their boxes get checked and everything gets done.
Okay.
Can you cast Hero's Feast?
Silenos has it through the bow.
Oh.
No, you don't have it, Silenos?
No. So Alicia was saying she could help and cast that, but I think Thalia was saying, "Can you do that anyways?" Which I also think pretty great idea. I just don't know how long that lasts. But if maybe in the morning.
Last 24 hours.
Yeah.
You can. I don't think the effects. A lot of the effects from Hero's Feast would stack if you were to have multiple ones. Like you don't get double temporary hit points. You don't get.
Yeah.
double...
Like so, I can't even do that. Mine's just literally create food and water. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
She was just saying, like, for flavor that she could help with doing that, but I think that works very well together. So maybe we'll just do that together. She'll cast it later, but that'll be later anyways.
I thought for whatever reason in my head, I thought you said you were casting Hero's Feast, so my mistake.
My fault.
But yeah, no, yeah, maybe Silenos and Alicia two get together, and Alicia put forth Hero's Feast. You'd certainly have no trouble finding the material component here on Olympus. There's enough jeweled goblets here to feed many countries for a long time. So I have a big important question. Gyasi, you have the hourglass of time and the means of scrying. Would you like to give it another shot?
Yep.
Okay.
See what we can find out.
You want some guidance?
It doesn't work.
It's
okay.
It's not a me thing. It's a Kronos thing.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Is there anywhere you'd like to do this, or anyone you'd like to do this with? Or just kind of like wake up in the morning, give it a shot.
Actually, I want to do it with the assistance of Apollo.
Okay. As the sun, so we'll say that you do this around the end of the day. Then we'll do our little feast, and then we'll do this at the end of the day, because he's riding the chariot right now. So we'll have our little feast first. So yeah, Alicia and Silenos, you guys put together a Hero's Feast. It's been some time since you've all been to the bathhouse where you originally used to all stay together. And you have a little communal breakfast there together. And Alicia, what does it look like, Alicia? So you're given this beautiful jeweled kylix, and from it, you produce a Hero's Feast. What does your Hero's Feast look like? What does yours and Silenos' Hero's Feast look like?
Silenos would produce a bunch of like meats and stuff that you could just whip up. He'd produce like a bunch of like animals and different like herbs and stuff. Yeah.
A pig with an apple in its mouth.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he'd help you. He'd like sous chef, have a little sous chef hat on around the
yeah, I'd throw in I'd throw in some fruits and vegetables, help everything go down easier.
Excellent. All right, you produce this tremendous, wondrous feast, and the six of you unite together, perhaps one last time before the great battle ensues. And you gather around the bathhouse, the warm, hot pool. Hestia's definitely there, just kind of not necessarily listening in, but just making sure everything's just right for all of you. That is her purview, after all. Yeah, you have a little feast. Is there anything anyone wants to do or talk about here at the feast? Do anything in particular?
For one, I just give Hestia a quick hug.
Oh, hello. Oh, yes, hi, honey. Gives you a hug. She goes, I see. I don't need to make any food today. You two are taking care of everything. Everything looks beautiful. Delicious.
I was gonna say, Thanos will pull out a chair for Hestia and like get her a plate And then yeah, he'll just sit at the table. He'll pour everyone wine, and then
No wine
It's
for
the,
that.
oh,
No
my
wine.
apologies.
Hey, in fairness, in this day and age, people don't really know yet that wine fucks
Can I
up
have
with
source some
childbirth.
ambrosia for her?
Oh, well, in
This
that
is
case,
also-
I'm drinking for two.
Look, she's a goddess. She can get away with this stuff. The rules don't apply.
There is also the point where the child she's producing is going to be a god, and some wine isn't going to hurt.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. All right,
And
you.
I was just a little confused. Is this a new morning or is this the evening?
This is the evening after.
The evening, okay.
Yeah, this is the evening after all of these things have all.
Yeah, amazing. We've all reconvened. As Silenos is pouring drinks and stuff, he'll get like a proper ale for Ouroboros. Take a seat next to him.
He'll be a bit quiet today.
Yeah, so I think given his domain, Silenos just kind of notices that. Just sits with you, just gives you like a little pat on the shoulder, nods his head, passes you like a big like turkey leg or something.
He
What's up,
smiles.
Captain, buddy?
Is anybody gonna talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room? Well, not that you're 800 pounds, Kyros, but
Oh yeah, hey everyone, how's it going? It's me.
where the
Nice
fuck?
duds, bud.
Yeah, look at me. And you'd see he's got the Cerberus hide. He's got this gorgeous big shield. He's got a spear. He's looking pretty fucking good.
Looking like a warrior.
Looking like a warrior. It was Thalia brought me back from paradise for this last big battle. So hope I don't get taken out too quick, huh?
Yep, paradise.
Well,
Okay.
she is a mother and full of grace. So, amen.
I did want to thank you, Thalia. I wish I was in better spirits, but it truly does mean a lot that you would bring him along on this battle. We started, well, of course we did some fighting before Kyros got involved. You know, I had to take a little bit of the experience away from him, but you know,
Get on with it.
one would not be wrong to say that we started this fight with Kyros, and it only makes sense that we end it with him as well. Hear, hear, brother, and hear, hear.
And here
Goddess
I
of
actually
grace.
am.
Speaking of ending it, we have a way to put an end to Kronos. Just one shot at it. He'll just put the little dagger on the table in front of him, still holding his hand on it, not even letting go.
You see this blade of pure black negative energy, pure destruction, and all of you, as you look upon it, divine in your soul. There is something about you that seizes with fear. You haven't felt fear since the moment you drank that ambrosia until this moment.
It rests safe with me for now, but at an instant, this can put an end to Lord of Time. Just has to be used at the right moment. And he'll just tuck it back into his thing. Everyone knows about this. It's, I cleared it this time.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, good work, Silenos. Make sure you get the killing blow.
I think it's just about ensuring he stays down. Anyone can put him down.
Good, because never mind.
I'm not gonna give you the chance, of course.
No, I hardly ever do.
It's okay.
Heroes
Cap,
goes, don't, Ouroboros, don't worry. I'll give him a good knock on the back of the head at like the last moment. You can get it. You can be the big hero.
Kind of like leans down. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, I got you.
I know this is the end of the road. You've all been walking much longer than me. I just want you all to know that, for one, I'm grateful to be here, and second of all, I'm not sure this would be the end of something. This may be the end of something, but could also be the beginning of something else. I just want you all to be aware of that before we begin.
It could be the beginning of peace, a long, long time of peace. We don't know for sure what will come after this. They hope that it ushers in a time of, one of grace.
That's all hope.
Hopefully not too much peace and grace, though, because,
Yes, I know you'll get very bored.
Well, that and, I'm kind of the god of pain. So if there's
that's what childbirth is for.
There's way
guess
more
so.
childbirth in peace. You will be busy.
That's right.
And I'm certain the Amazons will love to have you back.
they are the biggest warriors of them all, obviously. Raises a glass.
Here.
10 gold an hour. It's a good investment.
What is 10 gold an hour?
You.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you were charging people that night?
Yeah.
Heroes is like, was I
Silenos
around for that?
comes over like without looking and just like props Gyasi. Nice.
I gotta
I
say,
get-
only 10 gold for the son of Zeus. You could have done better.
It was wartime, it was more a morale thing.
Generosity, I see.
Just so the record shows, I'm not a cheap whore.
No, 10 gold that's a lot. That's a lot of gold.
I just felt like that needed to be said.
Yeah. That's like a blacksmith's wage for like a week. That's
Here, why doesn't
maybe
everyone
make
have
it
another drink?
I shove like a chicken wing in his mouth.
Dude. Who the fuck are you? Oh, I've never met you in my life. Yeah, and you all drink ambrosia, except Kyros. What's that pig stuff you're all drinking? That looks good. But he doesn't partake. And what?
So, is this our last night together and we set out in the morning?
Well, that depends on how obfuscated Kronos is. When Apollo returns, we'll see what we can see.
What does obfuscated mean?
Hidden.
Oh.
Obscured. In the fog.
Unseen. Everything to do with Silenos.
Here, obfuscated.
Well,
Yeah.
Gyasi, would you like to give the old college try? See if we can get Kronos on the
Absolutely.
radar. All right.
Absolutely.
You've got the hourglass, which is considered as much a part of him as skin and bone. Let's see how this goes. What is your DC, my friend?
Spell DC is a 19.
That's pretty dang good. All right, let's take a look here. See how El Time Lord does. You know the target quite well, so he's going to get a -15 to his save. You feel your blade cut through as you hold the hourglass of time in your hand, and you begin to draw the blade upward delicately so. And this time there is no resistance. The will of Kronos is not strong enough to overcome all of these detriments to him. And in this moment, a door, just a small enough door, not one that you could all ever get through, but one that you could peek through. Just like through the lock in the door almost. Peek through as it just opens thinly. And within, you see the mouth of a cave. You see the setting sun, pink on the horizon. It's this dark cave near the top of a mountain. You hear from within this breath, this long, drawn-out. So, finally, I think. Stepping out from the dark and the shadow, you see the sickly, almost looking skin of Kronos, his long, sort of ragged gray beard, and his wild, deranged eyes, as he steps forth from the darkness in the cave, and the sunlight hits him. As much as I enjoy getting that gold and hair and shit, the sun does feel rather nice. And he looks right at your sensor, Gyasi. He says, well done. Took long enough, but well done. My respects. Be seeing you soon, I suppose. But that's quite enough. And he'll point his finger at you and flip it, and the duration of your spell will end. Rather, it won't be dispelled. It's just the duration of your spell ends before its usual mark. And the scry is over. I want you to make me, Gyasi, because you're proficient with cartography, right?
Proficient with what?
Cartography?
Yes.
Map making? Yes. I want you to make me a history check with advantage. Or I'll give you survival if you wish instead.
Need guidance?
No guidance in this moment. You don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
Be a 24.
24. You recognize this mountain. You've seen it in images, very famous in mythology. This is the Sicilian volcanic mountain known as Mount Etna. Famous in mythology, as it is said to be the place where Zeus buried Typhon, the god of all monsters. This is where Typhon is said to be buried, underneath this volcano.
Okay.
Can't be a coincidence.
It'll be Volcano Day. I love Volcano Day.
Quick, everyone do a funny pose.
Yeah, we have a where. We don't have surprise, but we have a where. But surprise was not inevitable by any means.
Because of course he's trying to rig up Typhon.
Well, there's that, but at least we know the where.
There's that. Yeah, I guess. Rig up Typhon, no deal.
Well,
If anyone would like to learn a little more about Typhon, they may make a religion check. See if he's
Haven't
any
we
kind of
killed
big
that
problem.
one?
differently?
How much religion?
Religion.
Like a religion.
I
16.
don't think you guys killed Typhon.
No.
No,
10.
I just feels
You
like there's
heard
some
about
with
him.
T's.
16. Oh, yeah. Alicia?
10.
10. Silenos, you will know a little better. You roamed with hunters, and they probably muse about the greatest hunt of all, which would be the father of all monsters. After the defeat of the giants, Gaea was angered, and she produced the most monstrous creature she ever bestowed upon the land. A giant monster who was so tall that just his broadness blanketed the sky in darkness. So he stood head and shoulders over any mountain. A monster with 100 dragon heads, the torso of a man, the legs made of snakes, the son of Gaea who challenged Zeus in single combat and lost.
Damn.
Silenos starts salivating thinking about this.
Yeah, say, daddy.
So, who challenged some simple combats?
Zeus. Essentially, what happened is that this monstrous creature appeared, and the rest of the gods knew that they didn't stand a chance. And Zeus told them to flee, and basically stayed behind to cover their escape, and ended up fighting him for like very Gandalf versus the Balrog style. Fought Typhon like across the land for many days, from all the way from Mount Olympus in Greece to the edge of Italy. For many weeks, they battled in single combat until finally Zeus basically cast down Typhon and threw a mountain on top of him, burying him.
Gangster. Gangster.
Yep.
That's my dad.
Which is what basically made him undisputed champion.
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah.
they were like, okay, sure, yeah, you get the crown.
Can I do this is kind of different, I think. Either nature or survival on that volcano itself and its activity?
Well, you'd have to be there, I think, to do a proper assessment.
Or yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is from a faraway land. You've never been to Italy before. You've never seen it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No worries.
You have the location. You know where to go. Find Kronos. There's not much further he can do to escape you all. And by his words, it don't seem much like he meant to escape either. Before we wrap up, Ouroboros. Throughout the carousing and laughter of the final days of the children of Greece before this end battle, you see not a little, I dare to use the word bashful. You see Zeus sort of hanging off to the side. Not bashful's the wrong word, but just sort of reluctantly just kind of watching you all enjoy your time, just kind of alone. You don't know how long he was standing there for, but just kind of watching you all just laugh and cheers and have a good time. And here at this final night, he's alone and he just kind of watches from the side and is kind of just sort of vicariously enjoying all of your time together. And as you sort of see him, he kind of sees you and just kind of gives you a little nod and just kind of looks around and just kind of turns and walks away.
Oh, okay. Let me bring that up.
There anything else anyone would like to do before we close off our session?
Yeah. So are we?
Thalia, go ahead.
Are we going to leave in the morning? Is that the plan?
It sounds like you guys want to get your long rest in before doing anything especially big.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. In that case, I would like to cast another wish spell.
Didn't you just cast wish to bring? You just cast wish.
That was yesterday, and it's been a new day, so I got my spell slot back.
Was that yesterday or was that today?
No,
It was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, great. Okay, you cast wish. What would you like to wish for, Soraya?
I
Not even Thalia.
That.
No, that was. Oh, we're talking about this later. Oof. No, I'm kidding.
I'm using the spells you were rightfully granted by the power of the mechanics of the game. No, you go right ahead. What is it? What would you like to do?
I wish to twin cast.
Oh my god, you're twin casting lit. Just go ahead. Rip the band-aid off.
We're so lucky she's on the good side.
Yeah.
Like, we're so lucky.
I wish to twin cast Mind Blank on Katara and I.
Okay, hang on. Hold up. Let me look up the
I keep
twin
forgetting
spell.
what Mind Blink is, but I know it's not what it says it is. It's like a protective spell, right?
Yeah, it's a bug.
Okay.
It should be called Mind Shield.
Yeah. Because it being called Mind Blank is like, oh, okay, wipe your mind. Got it. Of everything.
Okay, you twin cast Mind Blank. Okay.
Katara.
Yeah, you succeed. You cast Mind Blank on yourself and Katara. In this moment, not really to either of your knowledge, except for yourself, Thalia, that you feel that it works through the reverberance of magic. Both of your minds will be shielded against most effects for the next 24 hours.
Sweet.
And everybody's hit points go up by 2d10.
Yep. Everybody take 2d10. Is their hit points go up, or is it temporary hit points?
It's a hit point maximum also increases by 2d10.
Okay, why don't you roll us a 2d10 then, Alicia, for your spell?
Okay, everybody, wish me luck.
Don't fuck up.
We roll 1.
10.
Hey, nice hot average. Everyone will gain 10 to their maximum hit points. Important distinction, because you can be healed for that. Back again.
How long does that last?
And it also
24 hours.
Ryan, it also says it gains the same number of hit points.
Yeah.
What is this, 8?
So this is Heroes Feast. There's a number of benefits you'll get. I think there's like immunity. We'll look it up next week. We'll go through all your free buffs. Thalia, the Queen of Buffs, already getting started. You guys will go through. We'll go through all your status effects tomorrow or next week. Both, I guess, technically, game out of game.
Let's just do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. With that, children agree. It's not you. I'll say that the Demithots have one last feast, enjoy their evening, celebrate, know the source of their battle, consider and contemplate what is to happen next. But perhaps indeed you are to recall that there is a adventuring party out there known as the Children of Greece in some other dimension, who has been, for all the duration of your adventure, been stuck in an endless battle with Kronos. Perhaps tomorrow you will meet them again, and perhaps tomorrow you'll fight alongside them and bring this endless battle against time close once and for all. What an interesting day.
And who knows what will happen next.
Only the fates know.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan.
See,
And
yeah.
me.
So
Good
4 of
degree.
them. The 4th
And-
fate.
Yeah. That is where we'll end our session tonight. And guys, we're getting into the holidays. I wanna see if we're all available next week, because we're getting in there. Yeah, 17th. Is everyone